This is B from Kongs R Us, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing and watching a recording of Arcade1Up's Time Crisis that I got a review copy about a month ago. So I wanted to just do a couple of different things, some disclaimers up front, so I can be as honest as I can with the community that's watching this content, if you're watching it live or on replay. I've had this cabinet since a few days before I went to Comic-Con. So that's how long I've had this cabinet. In fact, when you watch the unboxing video, you'll see some friends that were with me at the time of doing the unboxing video. So it's been interesting being able to have the cabinet and have my own opinions about it, but not say much about it, as I respected the Arcade1Up folks that asked me to not say anything until the reveal today earlier. If you caught that 1UP show, I was finally happy that I can talk about it. I did want to say a couple of things right up front before we get into the full unboxing video itself. That again, this was a review copy that was sent to me. I did add in all the disclaimers of the endorsement, so definitely take all of my content about Time Crisis with that in mind, because I'm going to be making a lot of different things and videos about Time Crisis over the next several days. So just make sure that you're aware of that before you consider anything else. Second, I think one of the most interesting things about my experience working with Arcade1Up in any capacity, as I've done shows and things, is that they may not always have everything lined up the way you think they might have things lined up, and often rely on community feedback to be able to dictate certain things, as well as try to make some sounder decisions in the company. And I've experienced that firsthand, going to like Evo, for instance, where there wasn't a great big plan, but I was able to influence what happened with that particular cabinet release. And I plan to do the same thing with Time Crisis. I feel like my role over the last couple of years in the home arcade space, obviously making my own content, sharing my own opinions, doing all the mod videos, which really got me started. But I always want to be as authentic to my opinion as I can, share the good and the bad. But first and foremost, I've always felt like a community person, and my current relationship with Arcade1Up is really focused on that. It's focused on that if we have an opportunity to give feedback, if we have an opportunity to influence the way they're going to launch titles and do activations or events or anything, it would be great if we truly felt like there was some folks within the community that were going to be able to speak to them. So I finally had a chance to meet with some other folks at the company, besides John, who I'd been working with for the long time. And I'll just stay straight up that, John D was the one that helped get me the Time Crisis review cabinet. And I had to kind of pivot recently and work with some other folks in the company and ask questions like, hey, what are the plans for Time Crisis? So the reason why it's launching this week is this is also Gamescom. And so you'll be seeing some more information happening in Germany. That's the official launch release, is going to be Gamescom for Time Crisis. And so now that I have a review cabinet, I can finally talk about all the things with it, and we'll get into the live unboxing. So I did get the cabinet, and I could have just done a straight review. I think that's what most people expect. Like, a content creator gets a review cabinet ahead of time, they make their cabinet review, they post it, and then that's it. That's fine and dandy. I think this is my first actual review cabinet I've gotten from Arcade1Up to do something with. Like, after all the years that I've been doing stuff with them, like, this is one that I finally was offered, and I said, hey, I'm interested in this. And the reason John asked me to do this, because I made a lot of content with that point blank cabinet, that I already have some experience with real Namco guns and with real pedals. So my experience with that would be applicable to share my feedback with Time Crisis. So I think I wanted to share why, the Arcade1Up folks picked me to be able to do this review. And but I wanted to go one step further. I wanted to do more than just do my own personal review. I wanted to share this content with the community as much as I can. So here's my plan. Let me just lay it out for you, and I'll get to the comments in just a second. I really struggled with how I wanted to do this review cabinet. I struggled with, receiving it and wanting to get other people to experience the first Time Crisis cabinet in the wild. And my plan is to make, again, content on my channel over the next several days, gameplay videos, a full actual review. But I had this concept of a community event. I want to get back to that and pitch that. So this Saturday at Smog City Brewing in Torrance, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific, I will be hosting the first ever launch party for an Arcade1Up title release. What does that mean? What is a launch party release? This was an idea that I had pitched to do today, like on the launch day of the actual cabinet, to see if I could simultaneously be at an on-site venue where people could be playing it automatically, the same day it was announced. That didn't quite happen the way I wanted it to plan, but I think this kind of makes more sense. And the biggest kind of analogy I can use is Stern Pinball, which we've all become big fans of Stern recently, is that once they announce a title and they have their B-roll, it ends up starting to be at locations. And then once distributors have it, they'll host launch parties and they'll actually do tournaments for the cabinet for people to play the brand new cabinet for the first time. And they have official signs and banners, they have giveaways and things. So I was like, I think it would be really cool if I tried this out that I wanted to do. I wanted to make a community event out of Time Crisis. I wanted to put this in a public space, not just for me to consume, but for anybody that's in the SoCal area to stop by for the next month. I'm going to have the cabinet there for a month. We'll see, how it survives. I think getting some real world experience is actually a good thing for people to see how it survives in the wild. But if you're a content creator, you can go out there and film your own content for it. You can also we'll see a lot more reviews coming because this is going to be in the wild, in public. In fact, I'm going to go one step further beyond hosting a community event, which I'll get to more details about for folks that are there, as well as what I plan to do live, because I do plan to do live streams. I want to share pictures and B-roll of the cabinet as much as I can with any content creator that wants it. Right. And this is just me. This is me, like, some people are like, I need to be the first to everything. And yes, I've had this for a month, so I want to be one of the first people to talk about it. Absolutely. But over the next 2 days, instead of just snapping pictures from, the Arcade1Up official website or from the videos that I post and then make your own thoughts of it, I plan to start posting all the pictures and B-roll video, raw, high quality res videos and pictures into a shared drive and share it with the entire community for anybody that wants to consume it, whether you're a content creator or not. You just want to look at the pictures of it, you want to do a write-up, whatever. This review copy, I want it to be, and I'm pointing to the side of the screen like you can see it. So let me just put it on screen. That this will become a review copy for the community. So it's just my vision of making this beyond just me reviewing it one time and nobody ever seeing it again. So that's my plan. Hopefully people, that makes sense for folks on why I was so kind of quiet about this and respecting the launch day. And I've been ranting for 7 minutes. Oh my God, let's get into the unboxing video now, where you guys can go back and see us unboxing this in full for about 2 hours or so. And there's some funny stories along the way of when this happened. And I'll probably talk a little bit behind the scenes afterwards about, some of the things that happened during this build. So I'll be in the chat, into the comments, saying hello to everybody. And I am live right now, Mike. Wink at me if I'm live. Yes, we are live right now. We are not a robot. I haven't been checking the chat right now, but yeah, so this is it. Let's get into watching the stream. This is from 1 month ago, and this was it. The Justin Console Kids was with me during the unboxing video. So I'll probably share it full screen like this, and that way you can see my reaction to everything as we go through along. All right. Oh, I can't do it that way. Maybe this way is the best way to do it. Okay. We'll do it this way. All right, here we go.
Hey, this is B from Kongs R Us along with Justin Console Kids, and it is here. I actually do have a review copy of Time Crisis about a month early from the time that you might be seeing this video, because we will be recording this and then posting it once it's officially announced by the Arcade1Up team. I got sent a review copy of this because I've done a lot of content on gun cabs. I even said I didn't want this, I wasn't going to get it. And in fact, I actually have some plans to let some more people test this out in a public location, and ultimately may not be keeping it. So stay tuned for that. Should have a review video soon, but today I'm here with Justin and we're going to be checking it out, doing an unboxing. So what do you want to see from this unboxing?
Yeah, so there's some exciting things about this cabinet that we've been shown from Arcade1Up, specifically related to the guns. Maybe you know about it by now. Maybe this is the first look. We don't really know. Again, we're under embargo on this particular item. It kind of got shipped to us early, or shipped to B early. And while I'm here in California spending time with B, we had this opportunity to kind of do this together.
Yeah.
So it should be pretty exciting. I will say, from what I've heard of all the cabinets, this may be, I don't know. We haven't opened it up yet. Are you
shilling already?
A little bit. This may be the best gun cabinet that I've ever received.
Yeah.
Now, Fox, a good friend of mine, he came out to Iowa, we had this great moment where we played Point Blank, which was an awesome game. It's really fun. It's on this machine, and there's some features on the gun and the pedals and how it all works that, I don't know. We'll see at the end. I might buy this.
All right.
I don't know.
Stop shilling, Justin.
I don't know.
Let's bring in another shill here too. All right, Mr. Fox, how are you?
Pretty good, guys. I got my drink. I got my snacks. I'm ready. I'm so excited. I'm very excited
to watch and kind of react to the unboxing. Again, this is going to be in the future when people can watch this and consume it. But we wanted to invite you and some other folks, if they wanted to join and see. Yeah. I like sharing these with some of my friends. And so, Fox, what are you looking forward to in seeing this?
All of it. I think the anticipation for this cabinet is so high because of the lack of cool stuff coming out this year. It's weird how this has been sort of the delayed cabinet we almost sort of forgot about. And now everything hinges on this being, a turning point for the company, something that we can actually get super jazzed about. So I think there's a lot riding on it. I'm excited about it. I can kind of see, I'm peeking over your shoulder there.
Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and
my gosh, here we go.
At the box itself, so that way you can see what we see first off, because boxes say a lot. So here it is. It is, I think, could be the production version of the box. It looks like it already has the design features. What's the first thing that jumps out at you?
I love the overall shape. It's so much better than what we saw. No banana cabinet to be seen here. They really nailed the top of the Marquee, right? That looks really good. And I'm glad they extended the pedestal for the guns out. That's a big thing. That was a really big thing. That cabinet, as we all know, was very exaggerated, very elaborate. So this looks pretty good so far. I gotta say, I'm digging. Okay, now is this the first time we've seen color matched speaker grills?
Maybe, yeah, the yellow trim speaker grills. This is still a render, by the way, so we're gonna open it up now. So let's just.
I can't wait to see. I'm so excited.
Let's open it up. But Justin, what's the main thing that jumped out to you on this?
Yeah, how this particular cab looks like the Time Crisis. You remember we called it the McDonald's banana arcade. And in fact, what's interesting, at the time of recording this, right before we pressed record, this picture has been leaked.
That's true.
On the internet, but it's not this picture.
This is true.
And so what the audience is going to see at this time, they're going to think that it doesn't have the grill, and and then it's gray in the background right here. This is the image that we have. And Fox, how difficult is it going to be for you to do some live streams? And you're under embargo. We're not really supposed to talk about it. I think you could. I mean, you want to be transparent, as much as possible.
There's going to be a lot of biting of the fingernails, I think, biting of the tongue. I'm going to have to be as vague as possible, but at the same time, we got to be honest with our audience. And we have to at least acknowledge that we know something, but this is going to be tough because I'm telling you, this is a great design. This is a big departure, I think, from what we've seen in the past. I think it addresses a lot of the issues we saw with that initial rendering, that initial design.
So look, this is website on coolshop.uk. So the day that this came out is when we're doing this video. So it'll be interesting to see what the community thinks a month from now.
And Fox has to do a podcast tonight about it.
Exactly. A few hours
tonight.
If you see the difference, this does have the speaker grill, but the leaked image is an old render, clearly.
Yeah.
This old render there, it is not the right one.
All right, so I just had to pause for a second just to give some people more clarification. So you guys, the timing of this video happened the exact same day, the Sunday of Comic-Con, when I was getting back, when Justin was here and I was dropping off. The day that the photo released on the UK website was the day I was doing the unboxing video of this. So this is just to give some people some context of timing for everything. And Fox totally duped everybody because the last month he totally knew I had this. And he was saying, maybe it's going to be out in the fall, blah, 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 blah. You knew, Fox, you knew. So if you're on Non-10K Fox's stream later on and you see content, make sure you give him some crap for that. But let's get back to the video.
It's been put out there. And who knows who put this out, but it's, we've seen retailer leaks before where they're using older renders out there, even the pedal. But the main thing, the front panel is different, right? There's no coin door. I'm really excited to show you the pedal, because I think the pedal is going to surprise you as well, most people as well, and then the speaker will. So yeah, let's just acknowledge that right now.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah.
You got that box cutter?
I do. We're gonna get into it right now. The box cutter.
Okay. Scissor me.
Scissor you.
Safety first, guys. Safety first.
Okay, we're gonna get into this. All right, here it is.
You have to wear gloves, but no shoes.
No, you should do it.
Okay, all right. You
that is scary.
You manage that and make this big, and then I'll open this up. Okay, because I do want to keep the box. So my plan for this, in addition to doing a review, which I'll do in addition to this, I do want to put this out right at launch when this is announced in a public place in Southern California for any general fan or person to test this out. So it's one of the first times that, you know, it was my idea to say, I don't want to just keep this review cabinet for myself. I want to share with other people like you and the content creators. Right. But even just general folks to test it out and see it for a couple of weeks. And I don't know what my ultimate plan is going to be for after that. Because for me, I've made 2 videos about Time Crisis so far. And both of them have said, I'm skipping this cabinet. So 1, I don't need it. And 2, I've already said in my head, I'm skipping it. So I don't know. I think this is something that I might want to find a way, maybe potentially to do a giveaway. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do a charity stream or something else, but that's a possibility. I want to put it out there that I'm still thinking about it.
Can I do the giveaway? I would love to do this.
You're going to be the dude to give
I want to be the
person.
You know, let me just arrange it.
Okay, you're the one that's setting up.
Yeah. Well, I noticed a few things off the box. Well, let's just go ahead. I guess the biggest thing is, right, no, this is not going to be an XL cabinet. I was thinking maybe it was going to be XL because of that big price tag that we saw, that big leaked $800.
Or the monitor kind of looks big. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like it's a big monitor. That's 17-inch, but that render...
that render looks like a 20-inch, doesn't it? So we know it's not a 20-inch.
Yeah. Wait, well, maybe we're wrong. Maybe the shape of this cabinet is such that it's like
really tight, you think? Around
it's really tight. Maybe there's not much bezel.
Yeah, maybe. And here's the official 4 games list too, right? So you have Time Crisis, Point Blank, Still Gunner 1 and 2. It does say Arcade1Up Deluxe as well.
So cool.
And that's what we're doing.
This is so cool.
We're doing an unboxing, Mrs. Kong.
Don't worry, he's giving it away.
It's not gonna stay
if you go into the description, it'll have locations
for the next month. We can't even have it in the arcade. So
I'm looking on the front of the box. I'm seeing a height of 5 foot 10 inches, so 70 inches.
5'10", man.
Yeah,
70 inches. That's crazy.
All right, we gotta check to see if there's any additional leaks in the manual first.
Oh,
now,
right. What if there's those things? Other cabinets?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Those things where you just gotta check.
That's the first thing we have to do.
Okay. So you look through that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I'm looking at. First look.
Let's go straight to the end. See if there's any future.
Don't see anything.
No.
Are we gonna follow the instructions?
No, of course not.
No following instructions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So just for a reference, this is wow. So 64 inches.
I think we need to follow instructions.
No.
Wow.
This is.
People don't watch my videos for putting together instructions, but here is the cool thing that's coming out of this though. Oh, okay. Here's the list. Here's the list right here.
Here we go.
Colecciones is Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat, Pac-Man, Time Crisis, Wheel of Fortune.
No Capcom, nothing.
Fast and Furious and Buck Hunter. No. All right.
So Buck Hunter is in the list.
Is in the list.
But we already know about that.
No Capcom Legacy.
Capcom Legacy.
At the time of this filming of this
Capcom
video.
Deluxe, Capcom nothing. Wow.
Yeah. Buck Hunter.
No mention of Capcom whatsoever.
That's the lineup. Okay, so nothing else but the Wheel of Fortune cap is in there. Okay, I just wanted to see that. That is now funny that the instruction manual is now a place of potential source of leaks. Okay, so Justin. I'm back. Okay, so I've been wanting to just kind of pause a little bit in between each of these things and just talk a little bit about where we're at with everything. So funny enough, we're looking at the instruction manual to find out if there's leaks now. And I think Biggie D was saying, you understood why I was mad about the Germany leaks. It's not that I was mad about the Germany leaks. I think I was more disappointed when I found out about the UK leak that happened, as well as the Germany leak that happened, because, obviously I had the cabinet and I knew about it. So to me, it was disappointing to see it still not be officially announced by WiFi and it's coming out through those different websites. So that was one thing. And then the Germany website gave us the price point that it was going to be $1,000. And so here's the story about pricing.
I think the biggest story right now, outside of it being released formally from Arcade1Up, because people have known that this is coming with all the leaks and everything that's been rumored. People knew this was the cab. Like today wasn't the day people were finding out about it. Today was the day that people were finding out officially it being announced and when it was going to be released and the price points. Here's my quick story about the price point, because now it's a contention of like, oh my goodness, $749. Me personally, I didn't know the price point for the cabinet literally until 5 minutes before we went live on that one-up show. We were doing a run-up show and I was asking if they had the price point nailed down. And at the time, Cyrus was saying that they didn't. They were still working and confirming with the retailer what the price was. He wasn't even giving me a price range. And here was one of my frustrating parts with being involved with Arcade1Up in the process of having a review unit. I can't talk about the value of the cabinet, honestly, without freaking knowing the price point of the cabinet. Like it was important for me at launch that the community knew what the price point was. And, an hour before the show, it wasn't confirmed yet. And I made a big stink about it. Michael B can probably vouch for it, because I was saying not just, to the direct folks that I was there behind the call, but I was like, as the planner in me, as I'm planning future content, especially doing a review absolutely is dictated by the value of the cabinet at the price point, and not having that information at launch was a big deal. So, I mean, I know people are like harping on the price point, but let me just say, it could have been worse. It could have been you didn't know what the price point of it all was and waited a little bit longer and then found out. At least we can all kind of gripe about it. I'm definitely not happy about the price point. I personally thought it was going to be a $699 cabinet, just like T2 was. But, I think this is one of those things where people will have to see if they want this at that price point, or they're going to wait for potentially a lower price to come down. There's been eventual sales with other cabinets. So I just wanted to share my quick experience about the pricing of the cabinet, because I think that's a reflection of, everybody's opinions of the cabinet. This is one of those things that it absolutely factors in to if people think this is worth it. And the price is steep. There's no lie about it. And the fact that I only found it about 5 minutes before the show, just about a little under 3 hours ago, I've still not fully processed yet me making my full review and basing it off of that price. So all the content, the rest of the show, the unboxing, I still don't know exactly what the price point is, other content that you may see. So you're going to have to factor that into your own story. So I wanted to pause there, make sure you guys saw that. But I wanted to just definitely say that so you guys could see that. Hopefully it'll drop back down. So I think $750 is worth it. Personally, I would like to have seen it at $699 or lower. I personally wouldn't pick this up at $750. I think it's too expensive as a deluxe cabinet. But Arcade1Up and their retailers are actually the ones that are kind of negotiating, and the licensors and things. There's all sorts of things instead of just setting the price point and saying this is it. They have to make a ton of people happy with the price point. And obviously, we're one of those people, and I don't think people are super happy about it. But with all things being said, Arcade1Up cabinets, eventually every single one of them that I've seen have gone on sale at some point. So if this is too much of a price point, maybe consider waiting and you can get it further down the line. So I wanted to just share my quick thoughts on the pricing. Let's get back to the unboxing video, and we'll get into this. And I hopefully I won't pause too much, but I'll be answering questions in the chat as we go through. Let me mute my mic and then we'll get to it.
Here, he might be somebody that's
Justin
looking.
is also here without shoes. We're doing
Oh
this.
my God!
Yes! We are shoeless.
The knife was on the floor.
I know.
Wow.
Mrs. Kongdoris, get out of the way. We're trying to build. Unless you want help. Would you like to help?
I do not. Thank you, Fox, for joining our stream.
Thank you for having me. I'm having a
A
ball.
few
This
weeks
is
ago.
awesome.
I'm assuming this is going to be posted later.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. This is a glimpse. Check this out. B and I were taking a look at the pictures. We were assuming, based on the pictures, that the marquee is
A
one
single
piece
of. Wow. Okay, so that's
and
mint
that's
acrylic?
what it looks like it's going to be. See how it
Bent
curves.
in one piece.
Cool.
So
Okay.
we'll
All
see
right.
when we get it. I don't know if we can do this without instructions, man.
All right. You start looking at the
I
instructions.
don't know if I could be
So-
the instructions guy.
Yeah, I'm curious.
The reason why,
Curious. Exactly.
look at this step, right? You have the machine laying down, right? But then it doesn't have the front of the cabinet and the whatever you want to call it, the gun holsters.
Mhm.
It doesn't have the deck.
66.
Okay, let's see what boxes you got going on.
All right.
What do you?
checking out
That's a square
some piece.
box. It's a box and a box.
Oh, it's the guns. All right, let's take a look at the
Oh,
guns.
Let's take a look at the guns.
This is probably something that everybody's really been curious about. It comes in a styrofoam packaging.
Whoa.
Here
There we
is
go.
the red and the blue guns. Really nice. Let's take a look at that blue gun.
How do they
And-
feel?
oh, man, all
Hey,
right,
Fox.
First,
Do they have
Hold
some
on,
weight?
Fox.
Yeah.
Is it blue and red on the original one?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
okay.
Well,
all right,
actually, no, because that was an original. That was a single player.
Oh, it's a
Cabinet.
single one, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you were,
So yes,
you just had,
look, moving recoil.
What?
This is one of
Is
the
that
things that
recoil?
people were really interested in and seeing if they were going to be doing it. Oh,
It's
so
a mechanical
it's not an
recoil.
actual recoil thing.
just
It's,
mechanical.
actually built into the
okay.
trigger.
Oh, wow.
So when you pull the trigger, there's tension, and then when you pull it back, that's how they're doing it. So it's not
that
actually
could be-
done through an actual mechanical. It's almost like a toy thing.
That could be good or bad.
To make that recoil.
exactly
Check it out. I'm gonna.
That's at the top.
That's
Go to
a-
this
wow.
camera right here.
But I was the sound, like you can
Sound.
hear it, right?
Dang, that's pretty cool.
All right, that's interesting how they did it. So it's kind of a cheap, cheesy way to make that effect feel real, because it's not going to be done through game where you press it and then you feel the recoil. Here's where the tension starts, and then when you pull it back, you can see it sliding as I'm pulling it. So when I pull it back past a certain point,
And it
then it
slips.
clicks back. So you still
It's
get
not
that-
bad though. Hey, do you have one of your?
I
recoil-
do.
Is it electronic or?
It is electronic. So here is a real Time Crisis Namco gun, and here's
Dang.
the trigger.
Look at
I mean,
the-
the design of it looks good.
Is that like a 1-to-1? You
This
think?
is a 1-1 scale. It's
1-to-1
slightly
scale?
a
Bigger?
little bit bigger on the top.
Pretty
The
close, huh?
Arcade1Up is bigger than the original.
Arcade1Up
Little
is
thicker,
yeah,
okay.
slightly bigger.
And look at the show the front shot. You can see.
Yeah,
This
Oh,
is
wow.
the Arcade1Up version.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And this one has to like have the camera.
Much bigger camera.
inside.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
for sure. The real one's tighter and heavier.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
sure.
solid, and this one's not as this.
So
feels
they
like a
made
toy.
this portion of the Arcade1Up gun bigger to be able to fit the camera side of it. Otherwise, the shape of it is nice. It feels like it. But yeah, the way that this one turns on, and I'll turn this on in a second so you can see the recoil differences. This is like, it's a cheap way to achieve the effect, which I was curious how they would do. But I can
Oh,
see
check
this
this
also
out.
getting tiring.
Check this out.
You
And
can-
if you don't like it,
You can lock it.
there's a button here.
Oh, I was gonna ask that.
And press this button, and then it's without the recoil thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
So for
It's like a
somebody that
mechanical
doesn't
lock.
want to press the button, they'll be able to do that.
Now, does that reduce the amount of spring tension whenever you do that?
The tension on the trigger
Is much
feels
less?
less tension.
Okay, that's good. So for fatigue, if maybe you're getting tired of pulling through all that tension, the spring tension,
Exactly.
that's
I
a
don't know
good
how I feel
idea.
about that. My first take is that it's a cheap way to achieve the recoil effect. It's nice
Mhm.
that they were able to do it, but like this is tiring to press this.
I don't know, man. But like, this is the T2, right?
Yeah,
So this is T2.
that's modded though with the clicking.
Oh.
use the red one.
Okay,
Use
red
the red one. Yeah, the red one is unmodified gun. So much you've seen T2. Tried to put the T2 gun in this way into the holster. All right, so this is the T2 gun, right?
Okay, let me see.
Yeah,
Oh, come on. This is
Yeah.
so much better.
it's better,
Way better.
but it's not how.
You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on
but
T2.
but the recoil happens in game though. This is like if I had a toy gun from Chinatown that was not connected to anything, and I did this,
It
that
would be the same
cool.
thing.
Now my
Yeah.
kids can walk around and be like pew 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 pew. And, like it's cool for a toy, but for an arcade game, I feel like
but
it's
check
get
this
tiring.
out. Okay, so this is with the recoil locked.
Yes,
Call it that.
it's the same.
No. See, there's sound,
Uh-huh.
and there's not much tension, but just something. And over here,
Nothing.
there's like nothing going on.
Yeah,
This has a little bit of life, even with it, and then when you do the recoil turned
Yeah.
on, and then
all right, we're spending a lot of time on
I
the
don't
gun.
know.
I think this is important.
It's
though.
okay.
One of the
I think
best
that's-
features for the guys. What do you think?
That's what
Bob?
you're going to spend the most time with. Now, with the Time Crisis original cabinet, it was a blue gun because it was a single player. With the Time Crisis 2, that's where you had the red and the blue because of the player 1, player 2 cabinet situation.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So
yeah.
Time Crisis guns for single player. I don't remember which one was player 1, if it was blue or red.
Player
but-
1 was a red cabinet with a blue gun, and then
With the
player
blue
2 was a
gun.
blue
Okay.
cabinet with a red gun.
So most of the point blank cabinets that I've seen, and maybe this is why they decided to do this, point blank cabinets have the red gun on the left and the blue gun on the right. So on my particular gun cabinet, that's why it's designed that way, because that's where the original art was.
That makes sense.
Red
That
gun
makes
on the
sense.
left, or pink gun, right? The classic Namco pink gun.
Well, this is going to be the
Time Crisis pink guns, right? As well, pink and blue versus red and blue specifically. Like you saw a lot of pink Time Crisis guns out there. But I always kind of saw in MAME too, the red cursor is player 1. So it's kind of like this weird thing where red is player 1, and then your setup too for the control panel. It's going to be set up. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison so you can see. You got to point this one at the screen. So this is a real Namco Time Crisis gun. This is what recoil feels like. Feel that. Point this at the screen and press that and feel what that feels like, Justin.
Oh wow.
That's what recoil should feel like through a real Namco gun. And now let me unlock this and do this one. And you'll see why I feel the difference.
Yeah.
Do you see why? Like you're pressing it, but you physically have to press so hard to make that trigger work. Versus here, I'm like, it's just coming through. And
you're activating like a solenoid. Yeah.
I'm barely putting any pressure, and I'm feeling that tension.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Let's be fair for a second. Let's be fair.
Yes.
How much did this cost
Yes.
to make?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
$5?
Maybe.
$10?
Maybe.
How much is this?
Very expensive. It's a $300 gun, just the parts alone.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is that there's no solenoid inside of this.
It's just a spring, right?
There's a spring-loaded tension thing.
You'll probably have a video where you
I will be
unscrew
opening this up. But
Yeah.
there's
Live,
no,
right? You want to do one
You
of
have
those?
to.
I
You
will.
absolutely
I
have
don't
to.
know. Maybe.
there's no mechanical recoil in this. It's manual. So that's what I'm trying to get to. So that's the big point.
The last cabinet didn't have anything.
It didn't. I think the fact that they even just got a moving part is pretty cool.
They're probably like, what can you do for $5?
Yeah.
And then the engineer's like, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
But he came up with this.
Yeah. So I would say from a functionality standpoint, it's cool that they got the sliding part. In my personal comparison, it's gonna feel less than because I have the real one. But for your average person that might get it, your first impression was like, it's cool that I can do it. But in my head, I was like, it's different. So forget about that comparison. I just wanted to show it in case people wanted to see the difference. Does that make sense? Kind of like the difference between the two, Fox?
You should really break this
No,
down.
I think it makes a lot of sense
All right.
because you're talking about a cheaper gun. You're talking about something mechanical, spring loaded. Is it going to fail? Is it going to be prone to failure? Possibly. But I do like the fact that you can just lock that back and not have to worry about it. Because it is going to be tedious pulling through all that spring pressure to actuate the top. And it's really just sort of a...
I wonder if there could be a mod that makes the pulling back less tougher to accomplish.
I know that's absolutely... No, I think it's absolutely something you can do. No problem.
What else we got?
All right.
More goodies.
Parts, screw cap covers,
look, screw caps.
Screw caps, multiple colors.
coin door looking
Red, white,
different,
blue.
the same.
Let's see.
Anything different about that coin door?
Check out the coin door. Oh, it's one of the newer coin doors that has the silver.
Silver. So it's a true deluxe.
All right.
There you go.
Let's
Very
look
good.
at the pedal. The pedal's in here.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I
Here's
think
the
this is
next
going to be
big
the tallest cabinet, guys. I was looking at all the XL cabinets. This is taller than Jack. This is taller than KI Pro. This is taller than Golden T. So this is the tallest cabinet that they make, I believe. It's 70 inches.
All right. So here, check this out. Okay,
Wow.
here it is. Here's the pedal. Like
Is that
from a
metal?
design perspective,
No.
this is actual piece of metal or aluminum that they put on here.
No.
A lot of the renders showed this as being plastic, right? But that's an
No
actual
way.
piece of metal or aluminum. No, it's not painted. It's actual,
Well, it has screws, so I mean, it's
Yeah.
right?
Like, okay, so like look at these edges here.
Yeah. So it's raised. You can feel
gotta
the
be
bumps.
kidding me.
It's
Okay, that's
if you
pretty-
look at the side, it is an actual piece. It's
It-
not painted,
Yeah.
and so
Looks-
the,
Yeah,
cool.
it's like thin, but it's
yeah.
okay. Let's do a foot test.
Go. All right, foot test. Step on it.
I
Ridge
need to
Racer.
compare it to something. Do you have
The real one? The real one's right there.
What about a Ridge Racer pedal or
Ridge Racer pedal? I can go get a Ridge Racer pedal. All right, give me a second. Pull that back out so people can see it
Okay.
really quickly up live. So what are your first thoughts on it?
Like if you really wanted it to be like even better, maybe a stronger spring, but maybe
Yeah.
the stronger spring wouldn't be very fun. I'm trying to imagine. This is Time Crisis, so right, you're gonna hit this to how does it work again? Do you hold it down and then you let go? No.
Press the button
To come up?
and reload. So you're not holding it when you're stepping on it to actually shoot, and then you let go.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
See if I can get. Sorry.
So for all the people that said there was going to be no pedal, looks like they were wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely a pedal.
Yep.
I just don't know in the gameplay, like if you're standing like this and you want to go like that, are you going to rest your foot on it and go like this? Oh yeah, this is way better than Ridge Racer. It's just like maybe the spring could be like stronger, and that would make it feel more commercial, I guess. Yeah. But it doesn't feel flimsy, and I'm barefoot, no shoes.
There you go. Grab that. Sneak by again one more time. All right, so that's a Ridge Racer pedal, and a racing pedal is different than this, because a racing pedal, this is an analog pedal, right? So this is pressing down, and there's actual 2 analog pots in here. That's a range. This pedal is just a micro switch. It's all it needs to be. So there doesn't need to be like really sensitivity issues here, but the spring tension is actually decent. So that's all you need. The hinge being on this side, I thought that was gonna look cheap in the original renders when I saw this being kind of plastic looking, but the heft of it, like I don't see any future potential issues with it breaking. Like we saw this and we're like, this is gonna break. This is so flimsy and cheap.
It's weird. It's possible that the underlying plastic is the same material, but then they put the aluminum on top.
Yeah.
But the design is completely different. Like you said, this feels bendy, but it also has like very little support.
I'm pressing hard, and actually, like, it's not bending. Like,
it's a completely different design, so it's not going to have the same issue.
Yeah, I'm curious about unscrewing this and checking out what's underneath too. I won't do it right now. But yeah, it's gonna like connect via the same plug,
and it's only going to be used for one of the games, one of the 4 games. So it technically shouldn't see that much abuse.
Oh, correct. And then I understand, right? Like the actual gun itself, if you can press this button too
to reload. Yeah, so that gun is
an option.
Gun's for reload for Time Crisis, but also for
Steel Gunner,
point blank, or like Steel Gunner. You would also be able to.
I will say, check this out. If you're actually playing it and you don't want to use the foot pedal because you got tired of the foot pedal, then how do you press this button? Do you go like this? That's kind of weird.
No, you hold it 2 ways. Yeah.
I guess you're doing it with your thumb.
Yeah.
Kind of like T2, or well, it is. No, to your point, it's kind of weird. Well, if you take your hands like this.
Yeah, normally you would be like shooting gun like that, like holding it back.
And then your thumb would hit the side.
Yeah, your thumb would be the one that's pressing it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that could work.
And then press it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, so doesn't Steel Gunner have a rocket launcher also?
Yeah. I think in Steel Gunner you have rocket launchers.
Gotcha.
So I'm more impressed with the pedal implementation, even though the size is maybe smaller than. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing compared to the real one. Go ahead and pull that one up. It's heavy, right?
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah. What? Okay. All right. So this is a real Time Crisis pedal, and this is its big brother. But I mean, from a design perspective, right? Yeah, it still hinges on the front, presses on the bottom. This is a real full-on aluminum press. There's only a single micro switch in here, and that's all this thing is accomplishing. So I think from a 3/4 scale, this isn't 3/4 of this.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's big enough for a single foot, though.
It is big enough for a single foot. And the thing I also want to show is that to show that this is real aluminum, this is like painted plastic to make it look like it's aluminum, versus this is real metal plastic. I think,
and it would have to be a different material to be screwed to that. So it's definitely a different material.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't imagine it would be aluminum. So that's
it's
kind of a cool addition for sure.
It's metal. It's something, right? And it's I think that's cool that they did that. I was actually worried about the look of this, but this gives the illusion of a miniature versions of that real one. So I think that's pretty cool.
They did good.
All right.
I'm digging it.
I think those are the 2 most important things people wanted to see, like new out of this functionality.
Yeah, and you know why they did that?
Why?
It's because we complain so much.
That's all right. So much. All right, here's all the parts. I'm gonna get into the rest of the stuff, and we'll keep going. Maybe I should have had you guys keep talking about it while I do this. I need to.
All right, let's speed it up.
Speed it up. We got an hour to do this.
All right.
First thoughts.
So what do you think? First thoughts, Fox? So far?
I mean, so far so good. I mean, it's a little bit more than I thought it would be. If you can, if there was any kind of, if there was going to be any kind of a recoil action, I would assume it would just be mechanical, because I doubt they would add a second solenoid or anything like that. The pedal is definitely a little bit better than I expected. I did not expect an actual metal cap on that pedal. That's cool. That's interesting, and it nails the aesthetic, and it also gives it a little bit more weight, probably a better feel too.
All right, so by the time this video is released, we should probably know the price. But what do you think the price is going to be?
Well, I mean, I can't see $799 being a reality. Knowing what we know now, what we just went through with NBA Jam, I would love this to be $599, but it's probably going to be $699. I would imagine.
Yeah. $599 would be much better.
You want to pull this out and start talking about these?
Okay.
All right. So he's going to start the side panels.
Look at those side panels. Here we go.
So there's scissors right there. And you can start opening it up. And
did they use these straps before?
Yeah, they've used these like plastic straps before.
It's been a while.
You need to hold on to these.
Some pretty big panels
So
there.
we're strapped down here.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk about that while I get the next box ready.
Okay, so we got some artwork. Let's see how they filled it out. This one works out pretty good. Maybe, Fox, if you could see the original, what we see is all the way at the top of the cabinet. It's kind of unfortunate there's a screw cap right. Let's see. Let's move it up a little bit.
Well, from what I'm seeing,
hand.
Yep.
Right at the tip of the hand, but you got the knee to the head to the arm, and then the foot all the way. It's really filling. Now this is deluxe style, so this is the upper part of the 3/4. But his entire body, there's no seam on the Time Crisis character's body, so that's not too bad.
No, I think that's good. I think I'm looking at an original over here in a separate window. That looks pretty good. That actually looks really good.
Okay, what does the original say? There's text on the original.
Let me see if I can blow that up. Okay, it says System Super 22, breathtaking graphics, long-lasting thrill. That's the white text on the bottom.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
System Super 22, breathtaking graphics, long-lasting thrill.
That's it. And I'm looking, if you look at the side of the original, it looks like there's kind of a seam just below the text and just below his foot. So that's accurate, actually.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool.
There's the foot.
The artwork looks really good on this, doesn't it?
Pretty good.
From what I'm seeing, that's accurate. Michael B is going to be so happy.
It's pretty vibrant.
All right, want to talk about this?
Okay. All right. Wow.
Yes! We have painted speaker grills. That looks really good.
Here we go.
And that's a little extra thing that they didn't need to do. You could have just gone all black and it would have been fine, but I'm digging the yellow.
Here we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen, and color in person, it's a slightly different yellow.
Well, you would imagine so, yeah.
So on the screen, the way I'm seeing it is, imagine a banana. In person, it's a very bright yellow.
Okay.
And on the screen, coming back to me, is not as bright yellow. It's like, maybe you can see, the color keeps on changing.
You almost had it. There you go, yeah.
When you see it bright in yellow, that's what it looks more like.
That looks pretty good, actually.
It's in person, it's brighter than what I see on the screen.
That's not bad. Is there a big difference between the yellow speaker grill trim and the actual panel? Is it a big difference, or is it just slight?
It's slight.
Okay.
At afar, you can't really tell. Again, in person, it's brighter than everything I'm seeing on the monitor. And on the monitor, it looks more
right.
This is a new part
less plain,
right above the control panel.
Okay.
The instructions.
Okay, here we go.
Next piece.
Let me pull this up. Look at this on the original. Okay, so it looks like that's going to be arcade accurate. Yeah, you have the three instruction panels on the original. Yeah, that's wow, that's cool.
Now, is that foot pedal? Is that what it looks like in the original?
In the middle, they show a big foot pedal and then someone crouching behind a box. Yep, just like that.
It's kind of
Just
funny
like that.
because, like, if you compare the artwork, that's obviously a little bit more commercial, but it's not bad.
No,
it's the artwork as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the original artwork and it shows that's the exact same shape. It's a red foot pedal with the silver part that you step on. Yeah, not bad, guys.
Yeah,
this is not bad.
Look at the screen.
Yep.
This could
They
be
put
one
a
of them.
20-inch in it? No, I'm kidding.
Yay!
No.
Finally,
It's deluxe, so we know that's already 17 inch.
it's a 22.
This would be called the
Nah.
next
The funny
one,
thing
right?
you kept saying about the
Man.
renders is that they look 16:9, right?
16:9,
So
right?
That is not.
Activate your warranty.
Whoa, that's new. Talk about that first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna put my finger over this so you can't
Oh,
do QR code
Can't
scan
scan it,
on it
right.
and figure out what it is. I'm gonna keep it a surprise for everyone.
do not return to store.
Do not return to store. Activate your warranty. Scan the QR code. All right, everyone's gonna be mad at me for covering up the QR code. No, you want to know where it goes? Buy one.
So could
All
that be maybe a way to kind of streamline the process and help with customer service? Maybe are they actually listening? What?
It's probably better than their previous one where they're like, come to our website and register. The
Yeah.
QR code, yeah. And probably they can take them down a funnel that's like QR code, register your device. Oh, you have to download our app.
Hey, well, I was going to ask, do they want you to use your app to scan that QR code or just scan the QR code?
They have the same artwork as the Arcade1Up, like on the box itself.
Okay.
They have the QR code artwork for downloading the app. So looks like they're still wanting to do that.
All right. So these are all new pieces. These are all the parts that, for the Marquee, I believe. And so, I mean, like, we might need to look at some instructions because
I think so.
section is pretty different than we've not seen. I can puzzle it together.
There's a lot going on there.
But when I build my cabs, I like to lay out all the pieces first, just so I know like I can get to it easily versus part by part. It's not one of those like you build box A, you build box B. You really have to have everything kind of unpacked and laid out. So that's kind of what I recommend. So you recommend anything else, Fox, when you put these together? Some Loctite, anything else?
Listen, you got to have the Loctite, okay? First and foremost, get the blue stuff. The red stuff's a little too aggressive. And then I recommend a little dab of glue on my dowels, but that's going to be up to you. I like to put mine together and keep them together for all time. But some people like to take them apart and put them back in boxes because those people are strange. But that's okay.
Well, let me ask you this. For the ones that you put together like Fast and Furious, I remember you saying that you sold those. So did you Loctite those together? And then
I did.
You did? So
Oh,
those
yeah.
are the Loctite versions.
They are the Loctite versions, specifically designed to stay together.
Together.
And you know what? I never take mine apart when I sell them anyway. People usually show up in a truck or an SUV and they take them whole anyway. So,
All right.
What did you think about the artwork quality? Like,
no, you guys got to tell me, what do you think up close? Because it looks really, really accurate. It looks
yeah,
good.
I don't feel like that sometimes we've had issues with, I'd say, like Blitz, right? Stylistically, they chose to go grainy with it, but it's looking pretty high res for the photo of the guy, the main character.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. It's the artwork style itself doesn't have a ton of detail. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what type of style of art that is.
Yeah.
Do you see how brush strokes? You can see brush strokes on it, so it's like a painting.
Yeah.
Like a piece of
Very
art.
clean.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, it
remember
looks
how
good.
clean the original artwork was, but it's from an aesthetic standpoint, it's a really nice art design.
Yeah, it's a good print.
Okay.
It's not like that you can tell anything's degrading on the print.
All
I
right.
think that maybe his skin tone was a little lighter in the original, but that's the biggest difference I think I can
have
see.
one more box to unbox, and then we can start putting things together.
What do you think's in that box?
The control panel.
Not the riser? Oh wait,
There is
There's
no
the
riser.
riser.
No riser.
that's the greatest thing about these deluxe. You don't have to assemble a riser.
Yeah.
I guess you have to assemble the bottom part, but
5'10". This is going to be a gigantic cabinet, guys. The biggest one they've made.
Yeah, 5'10".
Really
It's got a
tall.
tower over, every other cabinet that's been done before.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, the hole for the foot pedal is like about the size of the foot pedal.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can recess the whole thing in there.
I think so.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I have the Marquee to look at as well as the control panel in this box. Let's
Whoa,
open that up.
is that the holster? Is that plastic?
Yeah, very similar to Buck Hunter holsters.
Oh, okay.
And T2 also had that like groove for the holster for the plastic.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at the Marquee first. All right. So the Marquee comes across in this nice plastic and moved cardboard.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is bent.
There we
just
go.
like Dragon
cool.
there. So I mean, the quality of Marquees is
digging
also
that.
one of those sore points you can
It's
look
got
at.
plastic on
It does have
Digging
plastic, and remember, you gotta feel the plastic on it. So
Peel the plastic, guys.
let's go ahead and do that, just because I know people are always like, you forgot to peel the plastic. The backside is all printed white, so it should shine through nice and clean. It's not that paper issue that we had. Some Blitz caps had that issue, right, where the light wouldn't shine through, right?
A few of the
Are there
T2 marquees also had that. Yep.
Yeah, so this should shine through pretty well. But let's look how vibrant this Marquee looks like. What do you think about like them doing a single piece design versus the thing? Like it's kind of fitting. So potentially this whole thing could light up.
I mean, I think that's the better way to go, honestly. If any chance they have to do that, like if they were to do like a RoboCop cabinet, I think they should take the time and get the sort of the curved Marquee. I think it adds so much to the cabinet, and then it really makes it stand out. Little things like this.
RoboCop, you mean bad dudes, right?
No, how dare you? I mean the RoboCop standalone dedicated cabinet.
All right.
That looks good.
So take a
That
look
looks
at that. All right. Time Crisis.
Shiny.
That's really cool.
Very
Oh,
shiny. Pretty high quality. Has Time Crisis, Point Blank, Steel Gunner 2 just written down here in text right there with some of the Bandai Namco. But yeah, I don't see any quality misprints from the logo. I mean, we can see how deep it looks when it's lit up with the yellow background. Maybe I don't know how washed out it'll look, but this type of Marquee, when it's like the original style versus their box, have always looked good. The Mortal Kombat one.
This is hard not to shill for, guys.
Yeah.
Look how brilliant that text is.
I can't wait to see this thing lit
Look
up.
how solid that is.
All right, we're
It's
gonna
not
open it
fuzzy.
That's gonna look so good.
It's crisp. It's a super.
Would you
crisp.
say it's crisp, Justin?
Yeah. I don't know how else to say it. Like high quality 300 DPI fonts going on here. The gradient in here has several degrees of granularity. Like there's no. Oh my God! There's no banding at all in the gradient.
Yeah.
Look really close at that gradient.
Hey, I thought it was a good time to just take a quick break and pause real fast. Oh my God, Ty, thank you so much for gifting 20 Kongs R Us memberships to the chat right now. Please give a thank you to Ty Tran for gifting 20 plus memberships. I truly appreciate that. I know you did that on a previous stream, and thanks so much. It just makes me have to actually post more exclusive member content. So I'll definitely be doing that pretty soon. If you just got gifted a membership, put a little icon of Mrs. Kongs R Us in the chat so you can test out your new sticker emojis there. I had a couple of quick super chats as well. I wanted to get to Kevin Clausen. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. I answered it in the chat, but again, my quick opinions on the guns, if you review back, again, this was pre-recorded for those that are just joining in. And I was sharing, again, my experience over the last month hiding this in secret. But this is a cool way to rewatch this and get my take from a month ago, because I have lots of different opinions about it now. But that's what this stream is. So definitely check that out. And let me address this viewer right here. It says, will Arcade1Up release a Metal Slug or SNA cabinet? I'm not going to say it live, but I'm just going to go with this. And, and do that to Mr. P-Dubs and say, man, we had some fun times. And Dubs, if you want to join the stream a little bit later, we have an absolutely interesting and funny story to get to later on in this video that I think people appreciate. But in the meantime, I wanted to bring somebody else onto the stream who's been hanging out backstage. Mr. Michael B. What's going on?
Well, B, we haven't streamed in so long. I just jumped at the
long.
opportunity.
So long, my goodness. All right,
I got a quick question. That's why I'm really here.
Yep.
What do you think the chances are of them doing a Metal Slug or Streets of Rage 2 cabinet?
Oh my goodness, that is such the question of the hour. I'm
What a
trying not
great
to throw
question.
F-bombs out there anymore.
Definitely not a
and,
dickhole question at all.
You guys are dickheads. That's all I can say. Trying to get me to curse people out on stream. There are times I do get angry, and sometimes they make a difference. So, I mean, you saw it a little bit earlier today. I was talking about and telling folks in the chat about us discovering, news of price points earlier on. But I mean, give people quickly your take on today, just since we have you for a quick break.
What do you mean, my take on today? Like today's overall experience?
Yeah. Just our experience. Like, we're talking about it for the first time live that we've been working with Arcade1Up. So whatever you want to share.
Well, I guess the truth is, like, they reached out to us about 2 weeks ago. They're really interested in getting more involved with the community. Some changes in Arcade1Up. They gave us a really good speech. They listened to our constructive criticisms on how we thought they could work with the community better. And I'm thankful for the opportunity, and hopefully it works for both sides. Hopefully this is good for us, and hopefully it's good for them and overall the community, right? That's the intention, what we're doing this for.
Yeah, and so I think people can hopefully get that across. I know there was already some comments in Arcade1Up's video that, may feel like people are questioning our credibility, but please know, at least from what you can see at the surface level, that both you and I have a lot of the community feedback in mind, and it's the main core reason why we're doing this. And it's not for the free cabs or anything else that might have happened. It's my first time getting cabinets. I'm excited, and I think it's going to be fun to share the community that way.
So Biggie D's Arcade's got a question there in the chat. Are you going to get Arcade1Up to Cleveland? I am trying my hardest. Believe me.
It's a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool to hear your feedback. Okay, put any more questions in the chat. I'm going to just have the running in the B-roll, and I'm just going to leave you on. So if there's something that you want to see, because you didn't join, I think you're busy that weekend. But I'll just put it on and have it in the background for us. Does that work? All right. These guys are keeping it a secret for a whole month. Foxy, that sly guy.
No banding. It's just
incredible.
It goes from that darker blue,
and we can just block his face. That's okay.
And then it's got that line. There's no banding. No print lines. Nothing. It's smooth, silky.
Here's the next thing. Control panel.
Smooth.
Very simple, just straight red. Obviously, with the plastic on it. It does have the cables up front though, so you're gonna have the cable link. One of the first things you did, Fox, was the retractable cable.
Absolutely.
You think you can do that with this style? Like
no, absolutely. No. What you can do is what I did is I just took the cups out and I cut the bottom off. So you still had a little bit, you still had the connection in the front of the cabinet.
You cut out a little hole here. Yeah.
Exactly. But a lot of people, what they did is they got rid of that completely and just relocated the entire, but that would leave a hole in the top of the cabinet, of the control panel.
I mean,
and I don't know, that's a big chunk of plastic there, a big rectangle.
What you would do is like you might just have a hole on the bottom of this and leave it physically there.
Flip it around, you can see.
I think I would leave it. I think I would still do my mod. Yeah, because there's so much there.
Yeah.
I think I'll still do my mod and just cut the bottom off the cups.
Cut the bottom off of this.
Yeah.
Take this out of that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is shameful that you all knew Time Crisis was coming out and never told anybody. Shameful.
Hey, I know, super shameful. Hey, so quickly, you want to address Kevin here?
Yeah, so Kevin, right now we're just seeing where things go. Like that's all I can tell you. I know Travis asked me a bunch of times in the past. He said, "Would you be interested in coming in and helping out?" And I was just like, "No, man." But I was also very clear about that. The reason I didn't want to do that is I wanted Travis to stay. I thought Travis was doing a pretty good job. So
yeah, cool. I think Paul was asking about retailer stuff. I don't know if they mentioned that yet. Have they?
I think they've just got it on Notify Me, and I will tell you, I don't think it's a Best Buy exclusive because it is international, and it seems like most of the stuff that wasn't coming to Canada was going Best Buy exclusive, so I just got a feeling it's not Best Buy.
Yeah. Got it. Oh, and thank you, Vessel, for becoming a member. Appreciate that as well. And I think Ty just gifted another 20 subs. Man, I appreciate
That's great.
That so much. I gotta start doing so for your OnlyFans. Are you doing special member things? I gotta start working on that.
Yeah, no, I've never really done special member things other than like I put a couple things up. I gotta completely rebrand that anyways. I want to do something better and maybe do like I always said I want to do like a members only stream, but I would rather see Like, I would rather be able to have a thing where everybody just jumps on some kind of like group call, and I have some way to get my members just to get on a hangout or something all the time. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, members only. I think you can set it for public audience for your members, but yeah, I think Justin's done it. He's good at that. So a $5 super chat from Huxtapose. It says, in this video, do we get to see the guns in action? We do. I did some earlier gameplay on the official 1UP stream. At the very end of this video, in about an hour, we'll be seeing that gameplay stream as well. And then tomorrow, I'll be posting 20 minutes of unedited live, or just gameplay, so that we can see it. So there'll be a lot of content coming out. So definitely stay tuned for this. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the unboxing because it's gonna take a while just to get through it. So let me know if you have any questions or things in the chat. How do you gift memberships? You don't see it as an option. I think you have to be a member yourself first, and then once you're a member, then you can gift memberships to other folks. So I appreciate that, Kevin. Oh my goodness, Ty again doing another 20 memberships. Man,
Too nice. People are too nice, man.
Holy crap, man. Thank you so much for doing that. I know that you've done that for a few other folks. And so everybody has new Mrs. Kongzaros emojis. So put them into the chat, and I will find out some special things to do for the new members that are to the channel. Thanks again, Ty. I really appreciate that, man. That's super awesome of you. All right, back to the video.
People don't want the wires hanging out on the front. It'll just like put it in there.
I love that the cups are actually different colors too. They could have just gone black, but that's
so
cool.
You can't get confused which side is which. Left is red.
Right. That's right.
Looking pretty vibrant. All right, we got to get building pretty quickly.
Keep it separated.
Pretty soon.
So we're talking about. Let's talk about the things that are different right off the bat. The Time Crisis, the eye panel there. That's not arcade accurate. If you wanted to be arcade accurate, that would actually have to be that pale color, that yellow that we saw in the original render.
There's something different about it.
No, the eye panel. The eye panel.
The eye panel.
The one on the very front that has Time Crisis, and then a cutout for the pedal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The original rendering was actually, or the original concept was more accurate.
Can
that piece you have in your.
Can you pull that up? We'll share screen.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like this logo doesn't exist on the original. It's
correct.
Just plain on the front. So this is added artwork on the front plate with the coin door, which we didn't see in that render, right?
Whoa, dude, do you see it?
See what?
Look what they did.
Oh, it's lit up?
No, they put holes there.
For the lights.
So maybe it is lit up though, right?
Maybe it is.
Well,
why else would it be there?
So you could light it up, or it is lit up.
Yeah.
One way or another, like you could put the coin door on and put lights behind it.
Oh, no. You know what that is? I think those are the fasteners that hold on the.
What are the holes for, B?
Where is it?
That is.
Pro Marquee1Up?
It's just
that's what that is. Yep.
1UP piece. Come on. It is. I was wrong. No.
He thought the holes are. Oh, I see.
That's horrible.
All right.
Come on, put us some screws in there.
Help
a brother
it
out.
would have to be 2 screws.
Yeah,
right?
sorry.
All right, can we talk about this for a second? So this is one of the things. So what do you feel about them not lighting up coin doors? Do you think that should have been a feature on this?
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing I'll say at it. It's already going to be $749. How much more stuff do you want them to add into it?
Yeah.
Like, I think for the price point, yeah, man, anything you could have done to add value, but don't do anything that's also going to raise the price any more than it already is.
Yeah. And so I was disappointed that they weren't lit up. And again, the biggest gripe I also have physically about this, if you look at where that coin door is, I feel like it should have been higher where the Time Crisis logo is. Maybe remove that. Yeah. And that's where it should have been, because it's literally at your ankle for this. So I didn't realize it until I put it together. I don't think I mentioned it here, but I've complained that the deluxe coin doors are way too low. No exception to this. It's way too low in my opinion for this.
Where are the wooden bracings going across the back? That's why the coin door is where it is.
Later on, you'll see that they actually have divots inside of that panel across. So they can put it anywhere they want to and just cut a freaking like hole or something to make it play. So it's not because of that. I think they have the ability to put it anywhere they want to. So stop shilling for them. They can move it.
Oh, no. Anyways, quick, I'm going to respond to Paul Minderman. We have a shared displeasure of nostalgia, so I want to answer him. I'm not saying they don't add value. I think they do add value. I just don't want them to raise the price of the cab anymore because they added them in.
Yeah. All right. Quick $2 super chat from Stringer Film says, surprise, 1UP didn't make Travis assemble it for you. And Travis is responding directly himself, who says they didn't. So they have sent Travis to build things for sure. I experienced that in person. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat. All right, let's get back to the build video. And if you have any feedback, Mike, just raise your hand or say anything if you want to make a comment or something.
Yes.
Hey, but Retro 530, quick plug, right? You
There
know,
you go.
it's a very easy way. I also have a video on how you can make one yourself. But
Come on, Arcade1Up, just
just
drill some
light 'em up.
holes. If you're not gonna light them up, just drill a couple holes for us.
Yeah,
That's all we need. Just a couple holes and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
All right, so there, that's the difference there. Okay, let's start building everything.
Now, if you want to share the screen, I've got the actual front of the cabinet up. There's a couple things we need to point out for clarity. So the cool thing that we were freaking out about, that Marquee, which was really nice, they missed an opportunity. They could have put Namco on the red part, so that's kind of a shame. But the eye panel,
so you're saying someone could add the Namco sticker?
if only someone had a sticker that they could add, that would really add a little more authenticity. And the eye panel would definitely be that that pale color, that yellowish color. That's original.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Disclaimer, do not watch this unboxing video because it's probably out of order from the instructions that you would normally do. I'm just going to try to do what kind of gives us the most space because unfortunately my arcade doesn't have a ton of space. So I want to try to like get these panels put together first so we can put them off to the side. And then afterwards, we'll start kind of putting them together. So that's.
And for a more detailed breakdown, just tune into the 19K Fox channel where we're going to we're going to extreme detail.
Exactly.
I get to watch B build a machine live.
You commentate. Well, that's actually for like when I do live buildings of stuff. Having somebody manage that portion of it is actually kind of nice, right? So that way you don't have to be doing two things at once.
P-dubs, look at his feet.
It's horrible.
Barefoot.
It gives you so much more flexibility
Look at those
than you would without it.
Yeah, B, it does make you more aerodynamic if you don't wear socks. Good call.
All over the place. Here's the other thing, interesting part too, because this panel will connect via one of these things, an L panel. But normally there's two metal plates that would be here. There's only one on each side.
Only one.
Oh,
okay.
So, kind of a little interesting difference there.
Was it because they put the L panel across it, or they normally do that?
They do that too for the ones that have had the bottom portion of it, but I've usually seen that plus the two. So.
See, they found a way to save money, cut costs. They're like,
less
metal.
Exactly.
They just paid 30 cents. It's great.
Yeah.
Look at that. So we should this cabinet should be $4.99 then, is what you're saying.
Yes.
That's right. Because
You guys
that metal.
talked about price point?
So remember the original leak was $7.99, and I thought that maybe that meant that it was going to be an XL cabinet. Well, that's obviously not the case.
Right.
What we've seen with the Deluxes so far has been $4.99, $5.99 for Fast and Furious. But the one thing that has me freaked out and kind of frightened and kind of pessimistic is the fact that we had the Deluxe, the NBA Jam Deluxe cabinet at $6.99. So could this be $6.99? Probably, I would think so.
All right. I'll go this way so that you guys can see what's happening.
And you know what's funny? The actual side panel you're putting together isn't that big. They're getting a ton of height from that Marquee assembly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one when we put it together because we have a Star Wars cabinet right here to kind of compare it against.
Oh, that'd be a good comparison.
B's Point Blank custom machine and T2 right around this area. Not too far away is the Dragon's Lair, and the Dragon's Lair that's got a riser on it, a double riser.
Okay. The double riser.
Yeah,
the riser with the riser.
Right beneath the instructions.
Okay.
There's like two P panels here, and one of
So
them has
Fox was so wrong on that price point, wasn't he?
Wait, we have a P. Oh, we need to. Yeah, we've
the
never
P
seen that
panel?
before.
the P panel is the one that goes.
It's a cross member.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
across, but one of them has like
that's
these
cute.
notches here. So
I've never seen notches on the
yeah,
P
what do you
panel
think that would
before.
be for the front side for the maybe?
Is that maybe it's a clearance for the coin door on the front, maybe, or if it's in the back?
All right, so here's an overview of all the parts.
There we go.
There is a P and a P1.
Yes. Tell me if the P1 goes in the front of the cab or the back of the cab.
All right.
It has to go in the front, I would think.
Yeah, I don't see why it would be in the back.
And I think it would probably clearance the coin door hardware.
And is the notch facing up or down?
Oh, yeah.
All
Because
right, so
usually it
next
doesn't
step
matter.
With the P, okay, you connect the P1 and the P to the D2.
Correct.
You're on E. E2.
Well,
Okay.
either panel. I mean,
Here's G. G's the
he's the bottom panel.
or is that the front panel?
This is
He's
I've never
the
had
one
this
with
much
the
fun
cutout.
assembling a cabinet.
Oh yeah.
So
'Cause I don't have to
P1
do it.
goes at the bottom.
P1 goes at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, not at the. Oh.
See, G, this is upside down, I think, right? So G, that's the outlet for the pedal, right? And so
I wonder if
P1
it's one of
goes
those
to
where
the
they're
back.
telling you to build it like separately.
For the cable?
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, how they-
You
Build the-
attached it already.
I
That's the
did.
last step.
That's the last
Build the
step.
base first.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should go by the instructions.
Okay, so they're building the base first versus doing the thing with like
Okay,
the
so
XL version where they
the XL,
That's it.
right.
I'll just tell you what to do. Unscrew that.
Okay.
My God, B, like, what are you doing, man?
We're gonna do this correct for the first time.
Was this the first time you put a deluxe cab together?
Everyone in
Jeez.
No. Hey, B. This is the entire trip. The entire trip is allowing me
Yeah.
to drive B
Ah,
insane.
Thank you.
B is out of his comfort zone for sure.
To be like, I can do this without instructions.
Okay.
It's a new cab. I'm gonna follow you. All right, here I got the G panel.
No, you want B1 and
Okay.
B2 and B3.
B1, B2, and B3.
So, B, what I find interesting about this assembly,
You know what's the efficient part?
I assumed that the deluxe cabs would assemble much more like the XL cabs, and the XL cabs meet like halfway at the middle. But this is
They do.
still very similar to the old cabs, like adding the extra part on. Like,
No. That was my fault. I actually did it the wrong way. So I don't think I've had that much experience with deluxe cabinets. And so yeah, the correct way is to build them in two halves and then snap them together. So you're right, XLs and deluxes. That's the new model. I was just so used to putting the panels like together for all the older cabinets and putting them on a riser. So
But-
yeah, that was my mistake. Follow
No,
the instructions, people.
The point I'm trying to make here is that this cab doesn't meet in the middle like the XL cabs
Oh.
do and the other deluxe
Yes,
cabs.
you're right. It meets almost kind of like riser height.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And then the extra topper, when we get to the topper portion of it, that's what really makes this super crazy big. So that was like, oh my God, I didn't even know how many different parts and things. So that's completely brand new for folks. Speaking of people wanting to say hello, what's up, Dubs?
Hey guys, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We have
Good.
so many random boxes on the stream. I don't know if you've ever done a live stream watching us live stream from other things before. It's like we almost have everybody that was in Chicago last year on stream somehow, but it's kind of weird. Did you have anything to add, Dubs, for right now? I know you're going to be making an appearance later on, but
How far are we from when I show up and I mess up everything?
I could fast forward to that part. Actually, let me see.
That's probably be a little. You guys want to fast forward and hear a funny story? Let us know
All
in
right.
the live chat.
All right, let's do it. So Dubs is here. I mean, people have been kind of questioning what happened that particular day in infamy that Dubs was here. But let's forward over to when we get Dubs on the screen for a little bit.
Yep.
We'll go through this. I think this is entertaining content actually, but here it is. All right, Dubs makes his surprise appearance right about here.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to what Dubs has to say when he joins on the screen.
He's in here. Let's get him caught up.
There he is.
What's going on? What's up, Patrick?
Hey, question: are you guys going to edit this and then post it later?
Yeah, so you're in the recording right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're recording, and what we're recording
It's live.
Can you pause it?
included when the embargo is
Can you
lifted.
pause it? Okay, cool. What's the kick play? Okay, so at that part, when I called in, I thought you guys were going to just record and edit and trim it down and post it later, because the reason I asked that question was I had seriously just found out I fucked up. Like, I messed up big time. And I was like, what's going on? Okay, well, that's fine. So that kind of, now you guys know why I asked that question. Let's keep going. This is hilarious.
Okay,
Oh, dude.
yeah. You found those blocks? Yep. Okay. Here.
So they've got the Marquee assembly assembled. Like it's a whole thing. It's got like its own parts and pieces.
We'll give P-Dubs the highlights of what's going on. So this
Yeah.
is the kick
Yeah,
plate.
check out the pedal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it looks like it's like an aluminum. It's not like commercial grade, the type of plate you would put on your truck or something like that, but it's good. It's good for what it is.
Okay.
It's we compared it to some other pedals, and this is definitely an improvement. Okay, and then we got the gun. You ready for this?
Check this
Yeah.
out.
Oh, nice. Top slider.
Yeah, so then it's just like a spring. So it's just springing from when you shoot, and then if you get annoyed from that, you pull it back, press this button, and then you go old school. You go without the recoil, and then you have the side button that you can press. It looks like instead of the foot pedal or bombs on Steel Gunner. I think
Steel
it is.
Gunner, yep.
And then if you want that back, so you can kind of, yeah, I'm getting bored of that. Click it, go back to it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, actually, based on the history of Arcade1Up.
Right. Well, obviously, we won't know until you power the machine on if it does anything more than just that, or is that all it does? Is just that little click?
I think it's all it
steps
does.
forward?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
mechanical.
Wait.
There's no additional solenoid.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel heavy enough to have anything else going on in it, but maybe. We'll see. Let's see. What are the key? Oh, the Marquee.
Yeah, show 'em. Oh, this is cool.
I don't know. Maybe I think it's around the corner, and B's kind of. Hey,
It
Fox,
should
you
be
wanna
right
share
there.
The leak photos that are released today.
Yeah. Let me
as the
pull
time
those
of
up
this
real quick.
recording.
So at this point, I'm sitting there mumbling to myself in my
So the
head.
time of the
How can I
recording
ask them to show me the
if
kick
you're
plate?
watching
All I
us
care about is the kick plate.
on
Show
YouTube
me the kick plate.
was a month ago.
That's what I'm thinking, and there's a
Yeah.
reason why.
There was the first glimpse of the new design of Time Crisis, which was unveiled or leaked or whatever on July 23rd. And that unit is different than what we're seeing today in this unboxing. So it seems as though there's three phases of this machine. There's and let's call it the McDonald's banana version.
Yeah, the yellow one.
Yeah, so that one was the worst version. Then what was a render that was shown on July 23rd is, which we'll share screen in just a moment, is an upgraded. It's closer to what we're building, but it's still not quite exactly what we're building. So it looks like they went through cycles of improvements to continue to make it better.
Yeah, so what does the kick plate look like?
The kick plate is better than the leaks that came out. It's check it out.
Now watch me. Watch
got
me. I'm sitting here like
Time
this.
Crisis, high quality Time Crisis
And
logo.
then right here, I'm like, oh
a
man,
camera.
B's gonna be so mad at me. I'm sitting there
We
in
have
the
a
corner.
camera, but it's not lit. And then you have a little hole
okay.
that's just about. I'll try to get it.
That's a funny sticker there. Step on it. I like that.
Yeah, it's they did pretty good. So the hole for that just about fits the pedal. Yeah.
All right, you want to
You
can't post this until August 22nd.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what they said. You could review it early, but don't tell anyone. It's
Some
It
of
is what
us
it
can, apparently.
you're gonna have to find some videos. Oh, here's the thing. We want to be very transparent. You
Here
know,
it comes.
like if you want on live streams to explain that you've seen it, you know it. You know, like
Yeah.
don't deceive our audience. You know, like you've seen it, but when it's announced, you'll be able to tell everyone about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Right here, I realized so much. Look
This
at me.
is not the final version. This is one of the renders along the way. So the one we're unboxing has a coin door, has artwork on that kick plate. It has speaker covers.
you wanna pause it?
So it's an
Let's talk about how awful of a friend I am.
Betrayed! Betrayal, you motherfucker!
So, for those out there, the 300 of you who are wondering what the hell's all the giggling about, right there was the realization that I made an honest mistake and that I screwed up. And right here, I'm biting my fingernails because I know B is going to be so pissed at me when I tell him later what actually happened. So, a couple days before this, we were talking with B, and B let us know, hey guys, Arcade1Up's going to send us a Time Crisis. We're like, man, that's totally cool, man. That's totally cool. Can't wait to see what the final design looks like. And B was like, well, I can show you, but you really can't let anyone know that this is what the final design looks like. And of course, we're like, okay, man, we understand, we respect that, you're under embargo or whatever. B shares a picture, and of course, I snapped a screenshot of it. And the reason why is I wanted to save it for future thumbnails. So I had that picture saved, and then this picture got leaked on the German website, right? And everyone was all like, "Oh my god, this is the new design or whatever." And I made a quick YouTube minute short. I make these arcade minute shorts. And I shared the wrong picture. I shared B's picture, the picture that I wasn't supposed to share. And B after that, he got
See, this is how you're getting all those UK viewers. It's all the secret inside information.
yeah, it was so funny. So B messaged me. He's like, "You shared the wrong picture in your short." Justin, you're echoing. You got to close your extra window. And I was like, "Ah, crap!" And I went and I looked. Sure enough, only like 100 people saw the short, right? So I just deleted the short. I was like, "Whatever, I don't care." I didn't want B to get in trouble. And but sure enough, there were some guys out there who took screenshots of my short and then started making YouTube videos about it. And I told B, I was like, "There's no stopping it now. There's no stopping it now.
Can't let the lion halfway out of the cage."
Exactly. Paul
this
says this is why we can't have nice things, because
this is why I can't get that kind of inside information or access, because companies know I will spoil the fun.
Maybe this is why you got to watermark everything. Some of those content creators that watermark.
You remember Toycade? Do you remember Toycade used to watermark all his photos that he found? That was so funny.
I'm going to start. There's some really cool technology where you can watermark, but you can't see it.
Oh.
It's like the way the pixels are spread out, like there's code embedded in the picture, but you can't see it. I want to start leaking pictures out and then see who's using my pictures.
Yeah.
See if it, yeah.
Dub's got to wear depend. Yeah, so I screwed up big time there. So it was my fault.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Well,
There the other day while I was doing a live stream, and Justin's messages kept coming up during my live stream. We all make mistakes. I had Facebook open.
Yeah. He was all like, "Hey, check out this Cactus Canyon."
Yeah, Justin, tell us the inside story on Cactus Canyon.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Cactus Canyon is a machine my wife is approving.
Oh, it's so good.
So that's good. And then there's deals out there, and I missed it. And that's what I was trying to tell you guys. I was like, I'll give it a couple days. There was a guy locally that had an unboxed limited edition that he was selling it for, in the Stern world, like the premium number. Like it was like brand new unboxed, but at the premium price. And I was like, and I told my wife, I was like, that's the one I'm going to get in 3 years if I have it planned out right, but it's available now. And she's like, maybe you should do it. And I missed it. I'm like, oh, well, I'm out. No more deal hunting.
Yeah, so just kind of to wrap up and get back to the boxing, you guys are welcome to hang out, because there's actually another hour of this, and maybe I can just play them back and we can just talk through this if you guys want to, since you're here. But let me get to a couple of these super chats. Nick says, no light up coiners for $7.50. Correct. No light up coiners, unfortunately, but Retro 530 has some great light up cuts you can get for another $20. So that's always an option for you. And again, thank you, Besto, for the quick super chat as well. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to keep watching it just in the background and have you guys share your thoughts about it? Because there is a little bit quite a lengthy video of a true unboxing. But
why don't we talk about it, but play it in slow motion so we can go another 2 hours?
Another 2 hours.
Has anyone announced that they're going to do a Namco sticker?
Yeah.
Has that been announced yet?
No, actually, I'm selling stencil kits, so if anybody wants a stencil kit.
All right, I'll just put it up right now and just have it on B-roll. But for Dubs, he mentioned this to me like right after the stream. I was pretty happy at this moment still, and then shortly after, I had to take Justin to the airport. And Justin, maybe you can describe some of the initial disappointment I had.
Oh wow!
I just don't think people realize how the hamster was on the wheel in my brain, and I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this photo. I'm like, wait a minute, this photo doesn't look like the photo that I stole from B. I was like, B's actually had something on the kick plate. like, what is this? And then I made a short, and I was like, oh my god, it was hilarious. So
Yeah, but you were on for like another 20 minutes until I think you actually told us. Like,
well, I had to wait until you were pausing. I had asked you in the beginning, are you going to
Yeah.
edit this? And you're like, no, what we're recording is what
we're gonna let it go.
posting.
And I still didn't know to this date what I was gonna do with
So
this. So I was just
I
letting it
waited.
roll.
I waited until you're like, okay, guys, I'm taking a break. I'm tired. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I got to tell you something, B.
All right.
And let's just say, guys, that B cussed me out the same way he does his viewers. Let's just say that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he
I
ran me
was
down, man.
So I was downstairs when that happened. I had came downstairs. I was finishing up the packing, and I'm going to go to the airport. And I just hear this loud father screaming swear words. And literally, I'm with the family, right? We're with the kids. I'm with the wife. You know, we're getting things settled. We're going to go to the airport. And we hear dad screaming.
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other and went, uh-oh.
This is where
Something's...
Evil Ryu was born in this moment.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of it. I will fast forward to it. We went to the car. We got on there. And let's say that it was a, what's the right term to use? Like it was a teaching moment. And you were using this opportunity to explain to your children that you were normalizing anger, which is a father trait that we all do at a certain point. And this was the moment where you were explaining that it's okay to have feelings, and sometimes those feelings are anger. And as long as you don't break anything, as long as you don't harm anything, it's okay to talk about it. You explained why there was frustration, and I think your son said it the best. That's okay, Dad. How did he put it? Remember there was a thing we were doing all weekend?
It's okay to be angry for like 2 minutes or something. And then
Right.
you get 5 minutes to be, or like whatever, 2 minutes to be angry, and then that's it. And so like that was my weekend of hanging out with Justin for about 2 days.
Yep.
And you know, I learned a lot of kind of rolling with the flow with Justin during that time frame. And there was some real upsetness that I had originally,
Right.
you know, with Dubs, because Dubs, and I asked him, and Dubs was great about it because he did mention it to me, right? He asked me
Right.
what he
You
wanted
only
to
know about it because he told you about it.
Yeah, and yes, because otherwise I had no idea what you're talking about. But he asked me like, "What would you like me to do?" And after I did cuss you out and say, "What the hell? What the effing hell?" I said, "I would appreciate it if you took it down," because that was what I asked, and you did. You
kind of were like, I would really effing appreciate it if you would take it down.
Okay, thank you for elaborating on that.
A little bit.
Yeah. I was like, honest mistake, man. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to delete it? And he's like, yes, delete the fucking shit.
Yeah, so we were at Disneyland the day before, and there were times where people would be anxious, and it's just as a father, something that I said to B's kids was, you're okay to be angry, but only for like 5 seconds. And so I said, get it out. Like I told his son, like, go crazy, you know, and he went crazy for like 5 seconds. And I would do this thing. I do it with a lot of children. I think it's a fun game to play. You're like, okay, done. And the kid will just stop. It's fun. The kid will literally stop being like angry or crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you permission to be crazy for 5 seconds. And the kid goes crazy, you know, and I'm like, okay, you're done. Because we're at a park. And later you want to kind of tell them, hey, calm down. And so you've kind of trained them like, when I say just calm down, it's time to calm down. But the point I'm making is we're in the car and B's flipping out and B's son goes, Dad, you can only be mad for 5 more seconds. And I don't know. It was
so
kind of fun.
YouTube parented me for a little bit on the ride, but eventually I think it's funny now, like afterwards, you know, all things kind of said and done, you know, we've been content creators and mistakes happen. And Dubs, I do feel it was a true, honest mistake. You've said it multiple times. You apologized many different times. You finally even paid me for our Cleveland hotel. So thank you so much for that. Just kidding. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's water under the bridge at this point. But
I sent my money to Justin.
Yeah, I don't know why. My Venmo's really...
Can you freaking pay me for that Airbnb? Thank you so much.
You see the way my bank account works? You know, it's like Kevin Hart. The way my bank account works, I got a checking and a savings. You know, and then sometimes the money's in the savings, and you got to move it to the checking. It takes time to do all that.
Time.
So, yeah.
All right. How you guys feeling? You guys, we've been at it for an hour and a half, and people still haven't seen this thing built. There's another hour and 17 minutes of my build video.
Hey,
You feel free to
in
hang
that
out or take off.
VLC thing you're playing, is there a ×2 version?
I can, and we could just talk over it.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Yeah, so you can just
Let's do
watch it
that.
and not listen to my commentary. Okay.
Justin, that's a really good idea for a channel. Like everything ×2.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm seeing this message from Vaisel. He says being angry just doesn't pay off.
Mm-hmm.
You're an idiot. A complete idiot. No. Okay.
All right. So I'm just gonna put this.
See what I did there? No. Okay.
So this is me after I've dropped off Justin, and now this is just me playing this in double speed. So I'll just fast forward to getting to this, and you guys. Oh, Fox came back. So I mean, there is nice Fox commentary and things.
Hey, Fox.
Watch through this, but if Fox, if you can join, you can just give us your live commentary. You can.
He says he's got bad hotel Wi-Fi. He can't join us.
Well, since he can't join today when it really matters, what does it matter if he joined weeks ago? Forget that.
Yeah, that's right.
This is true. I think this is fast forward. I think this is like double speed.
Can anyone think what Fox is saying? He's like, okay, to make sure you got to put extra stuff on. What does he always say? He's
Loctite. He's
Loctite. He's explaining Loctite.
All right.
Exactly. It has to. If it doesn't take your test, it's not worth buying.
I'd rather have you step in it now than later to see if you fit in it.
Oh, this is where Mrs. Kongzura says that she's gonna step in it again, and that's
why does she always want to do that?
She's like a cat.
What's the fascination?
She just wants to step into things because she's a small little.
So,
Asian
like,
girl.
if you're out in public and she sees like a hole in the ground, she's like, "Do you think I can fit in that?"
Yeah. Have you ever hung out with her? Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can get this into double time again. All right. So it's playback, speed, faster. Yes. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Go.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
Wait till afterwards.
All right,
Okay,
do it.
maybe,
You want to do it now?
All right. I'll figure it out.
I'm so disappointed that you turned it back down because with Fox and all his hand gestures, you could elaborate that he's actually doing the Humpty dance. Do the Humpty dance.
I think he's doing segues. He's like, speaking of a time crisis, Cab, here's the super chat.
So, behind the scenes, since we're all getting together in like 30 days or so, this is actually how Fox talks in real life. This is what he does with the hand gestures and stuff. Like when he's at the bank, he's like, "I told you, lady, I wanted to take $30 out of my checking account."
This is 100% true. I'm literally in a car with him just a few months ago. We're driving around Des Moines, and he's like, I'm like, dude, put your hands on the wheel. What are you doing?
This is 1.5.
You go as high as you, but he's taking extra special
So
care.
I love. There's a comment in the live chat that
We
the
have the
four of us
intersection, and this is gonna be the Voltron effect.
should do a motorcycle run like the movie Wild Hogs, and you guys know me. I would love to do that. I own motorcycles, licensed motorcycle rider. I would be totally down for that, but I don't think any of you guys ride, do you? Or do you want to learn?
Do mopeds count?
What was that?
Do mopeds count?
Well, I mean, it's got two wheels, but you know, you're not going to get the two fingers down when I pass you. But you know what I mean.
Can we ride horses? You want to ride horses from Arizona to Vegas?
Yeah, man. But that would be okay. You guys need to learn how to ride. That way, we can do a bike trip.
Is this another one of those conversations where you ask me what brand of vehicle I'm riding? You know, and
No,
if it's,
I just ask you if you know how to ride a motorcycle.
I know how to ride a motorcycle, but mostly off road. Can we go off road?
Oh, like a dirt bike? Yeah, we
Like a
can do
dirt
that.
bike.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Get dirty.
All right, this
Concrete's
is at 1.5
too
speed
easy.
right now.
I think what's the term if I want to ride on back of you, P-Dubs, snuggling you the whole way?
I don't. Let me ask Nostalgia.
It's guys, it's actually Nostalgia's birthday today. So while this is really exciting time crisis, everybody take a moment and wish Nostalgia a happy birthday because he's the best.
Well, did you see? Freaking 19K Fox got excited about what you were saying, Michael.
I know.
Yeah. What's funny is I heard that instead of Nostalgia getting a copy of Time Crisis, his is going to be unique and just say Life Crisis.
That's good.
Yeah, he's going to have the first Life Crisis arcade machine because that is Nostalgia.
That's actually
Poor
a
guy.
pretty good meme, you know? You're going to spend
Yeah.
$750 on this? Life Crisis.
A life crisis.
Nostalgia loses automatically at the game of life. Somehow he gets a go to jail immediately card. I don't know what he's playing.
Hey, speaking of which, did you guys watch Ahsoka yet? I can't wait to watch it once I'm done with you guys.
Oh, is
That's-
it
that's
out
my plan.
today?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, it's yeah.
This is the first time that Disney's launched a show like this, but like, what was it, like at 6 p.m. or something? Like not at 3 a.m. Like it's like at a prime time.
Mhm.
So I got to tell you, I
can't wait.
really like Disney Plus. They're putting out some good content recently. Like if I knew someone that worked there, I'd like to shake that man's hand because they are putting out some killer stuff. All kidding aside, I started watching the show called Only Murders in the Building. Have you seen this yet?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Steve Martin and Martin Short,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God,
Awesome show.
Phil
On Hulu, never heard of it.
it's not on Hulu. It's on what is it? Disney Plus, but it's
Oh, okay. So you live in Canada. So in
Yeah.
Canada, they don't have Hulu. They have Star, which
Yeah,
is
that's right.
embedded in Disney Plus.
That's right.
Where in
yeah.
the United States, we have Disney Plus and we have to pay separate for Hulu.
No, it's on Disney Plus Star here. So it's all very
So-
confusing.
B, how has this thing been with the 17-inch monitor? Because this thing should have had 19. How is it? How does it play for you, B?
Yeah, and when I'm unmuted, is there an echo or does it sound okay?
You
Am I
sound
good?
great.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was more apparent on Big Buck Hunter, I feel like, because you had to be pretty
So far
accurate
back,
and
yeah.
and far back for it to work properly because there would be flashing on the screen. This one, I played it up close and okay for both Point Blank and Time Crisis, and it feels okay. It feels okay to me. Like I'm not feeling that it's. I mean, obviously, bigger is always better, but from an accuracy standpoint, I played Point Blank a lot, and I was able to hit a lot of my targets on that game. The only thing I would say is a big issue on the is more like pulling the trigger for recoil on Point Blank is more of an issue than screen size. But I hope their shooters eventually can be a bigger size monitor. If anything could happen for like any cat that needs a bigger size monitor, absolutely, I would say the shooting caps can benefit from it.
That's why I was so surprised they went with a deluxe version of Big Buck. I just automatically assumed that would be the next
When
XL. It
XL?
just made sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, that would have been better. That game definitely needs it. 27-inch widescreen monitors. Those
No.
don't look too bad, right?
I got a
32
60-inch
inch,
plasma and a buck on it.
50-inch plasma attached to an Arcade1Up. No, you don't like that? No, I
looks
don't know
like,
who would do that for this, but yeah.
Looks like 19K Fox drank a lot of coffee with this plane at a faster speed.
That's right.
Isn't it?
You can hear them chipmunk and talk in 1.5 speed too, so it sounds really funny. If I
Do you know
finish it
that
out.
19K Fox is actually, he can ride a bike. He's actually in Aspen, Colorado right now.
Right.
He rode there on the back of a little tiny motorcycle with his best buddy.
He got there and they just said, "We're there."
Samsonite. I was way off.
Right.
Speaking of pinball channels, Jeff Walsh with the $5 super chat says, Justin, did you see the new GP Stern dust cover? So stupid for $80, but it's sexy.
I'll check that out.
Yeah,
So-
speaking of dust covers, I just got Pin Shield, which is another brand that does
Yeah.
dust covers because they were at the expo. And I don't like it. It's literally
don't?
it's just the yoga mat that they put a Pin Shield logo on it. It's not the same quality as the Stern one. So I was disappointed. It is half the price.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I want to get a Venom cover for my Venom pinball machine.
Yeah. they
But I
have the
want it to
Stern
have.
one.
I don't want it to say Stern. I want it to have Venom on it.
That's interesting. I have it here, the Jurassic Park version. I'm sorry, man, Jeff, but I totally want to get it for $80.
Yeah?
So
Worth it?
I think so. So because let me share the screen real quick. We'll talk about it. Wait. Now we're at Time Crisis and Jurassic Park. Like,
Yeah, why not? We're pinball
how do we-
channels.
how do we
I
do
mean,
that?
I'm just putting together this stuff. There's nothing fancy.
Okay,
about it.
so what's interesting about it is a lot of the Stern ones, they're about $50, but then I think they raised them to $100 now. This one's $80, but it's legit Jurassic Park. Like it's got
That's
the
nice.
logo. It's pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
that's nice.
So I'm with you. I got the yoga mats. Now I got the yoga mats for my class of 1980. What am I talking about? Class of 1981. What am I saying? I'm thinking of a year 1999. My older machines, right? what do you call it? The Williams Bally, the Star Wars Episode 1, and
Right,
the
you get
Revenge
10
from Mars.
seconds to talk about pinball because this is not a pinball show. So go.
Yeah,
Okay,
Paul does
whatever.
not like that.
Okay, so the smaller machines, right? The smaller machines, like the one that Dubs has, the yoga mat will fit it pretty well, and it's like for like $25 on Pinside. It's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
So I got the yoga mat for the older machines.
Okay, so while this is happening, because there is, I'm still doing the unboxing video. I did have some commentary about it. It's very, very close to being built. If you have questions about the build, definitely let me know. But I have the cabinet. And I want to get your feedback about kind of my release schedule for content. And I started this stream completely thinking about like, this is one of the few times where, Mike gives me crap about this because like I wanted to do something grand and like give away a review cabinet. It's like, don't set a bad precedent, man. Just do a review and be done with it. But I want to do all this stuff, man. So what do you think? What do you feel about the community events that I'm going to be doing on Saturday? Mike, you going to be there?
If you'll have me, I'll join the stream or whatever I can do, but like I can't be there in person, obviously.
Wait, are we doing another charity stream?
Not yet. It's not a charity stream thing yet, but maybe I could tack it on. But I always like to plan things when I can. But yeah, my goal is to have this in a public space for like real people to test and play and see how it works, and then come back and check it out in 2-3 weeks and then take it back home.
It would be pretty funny if the guns break by the end of the day. That would be hilarious.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so I think I was talking with Arcade1Up having it be official events, meaning that if it's going to be out there, they want to make sure that it doesn't break. So they're actually sending me some extra parts just in case that actually happens.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be a real thing, a launch party.
Like I said this a couple times this week, man. I'm loving the side art on this arcade machine.
Yeah.
Right here. Like I think that looks pretty cool.
I think they did a pretty good job on that.
Yeah.
Now, that's an interesting thing, B, that you mentioned about sending extra parts. And at first thought, you might go, wow, an Arcade1Up is that crappy that they're going to have to send you extra parts because you're putting it out in the public. It's going to break. But hold on a second. Let's talk about pinball for a second. You got to be careful when you buy these used pinball machines. When you go look for it, it's really important to look for, are you buying a used pinball that's homeowner used only or in a commercial establishment? Because a lot of people have mentioned how if you put a pinball machine just for the weekend in a commercial establishment versus in your home, you yourself in your home use pinball, you can play that thing for 2 years, right? And you've barely scratched the surface of what it would be like in a real operating arcade for weeks and months. So there's a huge difference between having a machine out in the public that many people can constantly play versus a machine that's just simply in your home and you use because you work, you play, you go out to eat, you do all these things. You're not constantly playing.
We're not supposed to constantly play? Uh-oh.
Not a single Arcade1Up cabinet. You put an arcade cabinet, this is the weirdest thing. If you put an arcade cabinet in a commercial establishment, like there's a couple commercial companies that do that, I don't know, man. The arcades that are in my area, they rotate through the machines every now and then. When I talk to them, it's like, yeah, they just, instead of repairing them on site, they just do a rotate, bring that one back, and then they do the fix it up. If it's something small, no big deal. But a lot of times, the reason why they swap it out is because they're like, if there's a problem, boom, swap it.
Interesting.
All right, we're getting close to it, finally being put together. Actually, so the two big things that were very different, obviously, the topper is a brand new section to put on. So that's going to be new for folks to build that separately. These are brand new pieces, as well as the curved marquee is really nice. I was impressed with that. And then the second thing that's very different is the control panel area. This part that sticks out is also a new thing that we've not seen in an Arcade1Up that shoots out this far and tries to mimic the real version of the arcade. But I actually had this mounted by the end of this video a little bit under where it was supposed to be. Like it kind of fit funny, and I had to readjust it later so that it fits flush. But I'll do a full review and do more close-ups of it. But that's another portion that I would say is a little bit tricky to put together. Is the top portion as well as this portion right here, the control panel.
Now,
So
did you follow the instructions?
No, because you weren't there anymore. I said fuck the instructions. So.
So, B, I got a question. So, at the top of
Yeah.
that instruction panel that's there under the screen,
Mhm.
that's just a bare edge there as it leans into the screen. It doesn't
Here?
fit.
Yeah,
just go up.
This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the bezel, and then this is the top part of the speaker. So there's like a little gap, but there's no space gap, but there is like a little bit of gap between. It's like recessed back a little bit behind these two parts. Does that make
So
sense?
it doesn't fit flush. It just kind of
Correct.
like
It's not
instead of
flush,
doing
behind.
it, they didn't do it on the 45 to connect it. They just left it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has that molding, the side T molding on top of
Oh,
this
okay. So it
picture.
does have it. Yeah.
So it does it, but it's behind it, so it's a little bit more recessed. So it actually gives it more depth, which I don't mind having it further back. I mean, it's one of the mods that I did with T2, and I think with T2 it made sense. I don't know if I would do that with this one because you don't really need to recess the monitor on this type of game. But yeah, that could be another option to have that move further back. All right, we're almost done. And again, like I was saying, oh, and then there's also the side covers, which I don't know how you guys feel about side covers, but I couldn't quite figure it out. But the only one that I had left for his hand was a black one. So they don't have a flesh covered hole cover.
You're talking about a screw hole cover?
The screw hole cover, right? So his
Oh.
hand has a little hole, and the only one that had a pair was black. So I didn't know which one to put there. So that's a little,
you know, he was just wearing a black onyx ring there.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's got a mood ring on.
Yeah.
He's got a mood ring on. There you go.
Mood ring right there. And so yeah, I didn't know quite which one would look the best, white, red, or black, but thought it'd be okay.
Well, I mean, this is a cool looking machine, but they said 750.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ouch, that hurts.
Now, if you listened closely, I want to say I don't know any information because I want to say this because what I'm about to say is pure speculation. But if you heard, okay, they did this last time. Do you guys remember? They released a cabinet. It was a price, and then there was like a $50 discount when they launched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Cyrus on the video today, you said the price was $749. There was dead silence because everyone was in shock, obviously. And then there was this, like, he said, you need to go press the notify me, and there's going to be, look forward to something for early adopters. Paraphrasing, something to that effect. I think it's going to be a $50 discount. I'm not promising that. I'm not in a position to do that anyway. But I feel like that's what he was implying.
Well, why not do it for $6.99 with $50 off $6.49? That would have been better.
Well, what if the price is actually $6.99? They just raised it to $7.49 so that we'd be like, wow, that's kind of expensive. And they'll be like, no, there's a coupon code, it's $6.99.
Yeah,
and then people are like, whoa, I better get it.
Yeah, boo. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I think will happen.
Yeah, I hear you. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this was going to be $5.99.
Yeah.
So the expectation of $5.99, and I was like, I might get it. And then hearing $7.49, I was like, a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it right at the beginning of the stream of kind of where I was at when finding out about the price point. Both Mike and I, even though we're involved with the show, truly didn't know the final price point until literally minutes before the show went live. And that heavily dictated for me, or the rest of my content for the week. So I was pretty adamant that we would find out about it. I wasn't happy with it. But Mike, what were you going to say about that?
No, I just said 5 minutes before.
Was it 5 minutes before?
5 minutes. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were raising your hand, but yeah, literally 5 minutes before 3 p.m. Pacific time frame was when we found the official price point. And it's something that I think the community probably would have been more upset at a launch that didn't have a price point. So at least we can at least know, and there's some feedback they can hear, and maybe they can do something like you were saying, Justin. So I think that's better for us to have that versus notify me and then wait however long it took to confirm it, and then have another round of it. So as being a part of the launch video, I thought that was super important. So I'm happy they got it done, even if it was 5 minutes before. So at least we got that much information.
Yeah.
What about the red piece here? Is that wood or is that another acrylic piece?
That's part of the marquee.
The marquee is one solid piece that goes angled. So it's like almost like Dragon's
Oh.
Lair, where it's curved. So it's one
Oh,
solid
okay.
piece of acrylic.
It looked a little shiny there. I was like, is that
Yeah.
plastic?
It lights up too. The red part lights up, but not as bright where it's shined. But yeah, it does.
Ah.
It definitely has some really cool features like that, and then the fact that the bottom of it sticks out so far.
Mhm.
But if I'm being honest, it's like that $749. We thought we were done with those type of prices. Remember Simpsons,
Mhm.
X-Men? Those were like, whoa, the big inflation years of during the pandemic. Oh wow, you know. And then we started getting this $499 for the deluxe. What a great value, you know. And they're like, hey, maybe $699 is what we're gonna $599. I'm sorry, maybe $599 is what we're gonna pay for some of these brand new titles that have extra features. Then it jumps to $749. I will tell you, if you go to arcade1up.com and you ignore what you wish the price would be, and you just compare their other products, maybe I don't even want to say it makes sense, but there's other products that are currently on arcade1up.com that are still priced at that $699. So if you put this out there for $599, you basically need to lower all those prices too.
That's a great idea.
Maybe they should.
That's what they should do, Justin.
I mean, I love
Absolutely.
Fox is not here, but I feel if Fox was here, he would say $299 for the Walmart, right? $399 for last year's model, like the Yoga Flame. $499 for the brand new deluxe, but it's a re-release. $599 for the brand new stuff. What's up with this $749? That's what Fox would say.
Look at me screwing up at the front of this and not having all those wires in there. So
Look at that.
I think I'm gonna screw this in and have wires sticking out the front.
You don't even know, right?
I don't even know. I'm
Great,
like, that looks great, right?
He's
Totally
like, why
not
won't it
what to
line
do.
up? Why won't it line up?
Exactly. I'm
Oh,
like,
there it is.
See? Feel it, right? Exactly. That's why people like
Feel the-
hate watching my
feel the
my
sticker,
thing.
B.
Feel the sticker. My good. Okay, so Garage Gamer is saying like, oh, they showed the community love by 750. I want to just address this as well, because I think if it was up to some of the folks that we've been talking to, this would absolutely be at a price point that has been discussed at $599, $699. But there's a lot of other factors that they were going through before confirming that price point. I don't know everything that goes into it, but I truly think if they could have made it lower today, they would have. But I don't know what else to say, Mike. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, right? There's
Well,
just real factors
I'll
to
just
go
tell you very honestly, Arcade1Up develops these. They have a manufacturer's suggested retail price that they provide to the retailers. But I mean, at the end of the day, retailers are the one that sells the cab, so they're going to choose the price.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. And maybe there'll be room for growth. But knowing the price point now really helps the community rationalize the rest of its value. And so this is one of the higher price point cabinets. So I think so. T2 was $699, but there was other $749 cabinets. Wasn't the X-Men cabinets that price T2?
Yeah, see, but like the X-Men, how is it any different than the Simpsons other than the titles that were in it? You know?
Correct. But there has been at least a $749 cabinet before.
That's fair.
No.
But $749 is like the price. I mean, come on, $749. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with $749. Like, maybe Time Crisis is a great cab and you should totally get it, whatever. $749. But are they going to come out with a Pac-Man XL Costco for $599? Now I'm disappointed because I'm like,
yeah,
is that fake now? Is the XL Pac-Man, because they're both Namco? Or is it, okay, Namco XL will be $599 at Costco because it's Pac-Man and they've done that machine a million times. Oh, I'm in. I'm in if that's the case.
Well, Pac-Man doesn't have two sit-in light guns.
That's fair.
I guess that'll
That's
be
fair.
the excuse. But...
And this
How
does
do you
have
know
the
Pac-Man
quirkiness.
doesn't have two send-in light guns? You're making an assumption.
Well, hey, do those cables for the guns retract? Or
They do not. No, there's a lot of less cable management that needs to be done. It's going to be harder to do the mod where you hide them because there's the external part right here on the side. Well, you can see it, the little black thing where
so
they kind of
you're
come
still
out
gonna
there.
have
Hurry
the
up.
cables dangling off.
Come
the
on, Carrie
chain
Hardy's in the chat. We got to switch to talking about pinball now.
Back to
Pinball
pinball now.
channel.
We're
Let's
pinball,
talk about
so
the
anyway.
pinball tables.
Pinball
Tables,
channel.
right?
Pinball
Tables.
machines.
Oh, machines. I'm sorry. Yes. So
Yeah. I like Kerry Hardy, but he's a Venom hater right now. So me and
I
him,
did
me and
some
him, might,
Venom
me and him, might,
content
me and him
recently.
might have a beef. I don't know because I'm still excited about my Venom.
No, I'm sorry,
I'm still
P-Dubs.
excited.
Recently, I said discouraging things about Venom, but then I watched their release video.
Did you watch the new video that
Yes.
just came out?
Yes.
That video, because you guys remember earlier in the week,
I'm
I was
in
all,
again.
I don't know. I'm back.
I'm in again.
I was regretting my purchase.
Yep.
And I saw that video this week, and it helped me build confidence.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so just back to the cabinet. I was just measuring how tall this is. I'm 5'10" tall, and so this is like completely at my height. So it's the tallest cabinet. It's bigger than Big Blue by just an inch or two. So physically, it's actually really impressive in person. So I was just measuring it a second ago, so that's why I had.
Yeah, this is the tallest cab they've released to date at 70 inches.
Yeah. It's tall. It is tall. All right. Gigi was asking about the feel of the guns. They do feel a little bit. I don't say. I'll have to hold up the T2 guns, but they are plastic. Obviously, how the Big Buck and the T2 guns are built. But I feel like I could add a magnet or two in here to make it a little bit heavier. I do plan to open this up and see what can be done from a modding standpoint. To one, make it heftier, and two, to see if we can loosen the spring for the recoil mech. So I'll plan to do that probably on my Thursday live stream.
I'm excited about that because while I was there, I was holding that one. I got to feel it, and I also felt your genuine Namco. And clearly, there's a difference.
Yes.
But these are an improvement since previous light guns, and that clickiness is an improvement. And the way they did it, because of course they're trying to do this to maximize their profits, so they come up with a clever way. And we were kind of playing with it and analyzing it, like how exactly the click works. And it's an inexpensive way to kind of give you that feel without it costing a lot of money. I think it's an interesting compromise. But yeah, I think there's modding opportunities. Like if you could give it, but it's tough, man, to be fair. Like if you make it heavier, then it's going to be heavier. So it's going to feel better when you grab it and you're like, check out this gun I got. But actually playing it for 30 minutes, because Point Blank, which is, I think, pretty fantastic game, it's a game you can play for a while. Like, that's the cool thing about Point Blank. You play that in an arcade. We have it at our arcade, and you throw in a quarter. Just with one quarter, you can play that game for a while.
Well, I'll tell you how much B likes Point Blank. He refused to come back and finish the stream because he was playing. He was like, "Give me another minute."
I'm
we
telling
were going
you,
live earlier.
I'm telling you, if those of you have never played Point Blank, best
fun.
I can. It's a whole bunch of mini games.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds you of like Wii Sports type. Like when
Mario
you're playing.
Party.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's great with friends and family. That game's gonna be amazing. Like I think that's gonna be the game everyone. Like you buy this cabinet, you have it with your kids. Kids are gonna be playing Point Blank.
Point Blank definitely would be a hit on this cabinet, but I do say with it, you do have to lock the recoil and play it with the trigger because there's several mini games where you have to press as fast as you can, and doing that with the trigger, you can't press as fast as you can without it. So unfortunately, it's like you have to do one or the other, like have that authentic feel or try to get a good score. And if you're gonna go for score, turn it off.
B, I gotta tell you, watching you build cabs makes me so frustrated. Everything is so backwards from when you're supposed to do things. What are you talking about?
It's perfect.
You plug it in the PCB to the control panel after everything's built from the back.
What else would you do? Are you supposed to like?
Well, I don't know with this cab. This cab may be different, but usually we plug the control panel in before we screw it down as we're putting it in.
Yeah, the lack of protective footwear again just is disturbing.
All right, P-dubs. Here's this $10 super chat from Kelsa's Arcade. Says, to be honest, there are certain cabs people will pay more for. Afterburner Sega Rally could be $1,000, and I'd buy. Time Crisis Tekken, I'll buy at $749, but agree $699 makes more sense. Any thoughts on this for Kelsa's Arcade? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat.
He makes a really good point. Like everybody's saying now, like anybody who pays $749 for this will be crazy. People are still going to buy it. A bunch of people are still going to buy it. Doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. They're not going to pay attention. And if they want it, they'll just go buy it. But I think he does have a point. I anticipated this cab to be somewhere between $649 and $699. I heard that the cab is going to be $899 Canadian. So I did the math on that and worked it out. $899 is the price that they charged us for the XL cabs last year, which were $699. So I figured that was the price. So when I heard $749 today, I was a little surprised by that price point.
So it's almost as if it's $50 too much, and it would perfectly make sense if they made a coupon code.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I would say, yeah, like if you have this price, $749, that is the maximum price that you could charge for this, and some people would buy it. And perhaps that's their goal, because they made, let's say they made 3,000 of these, let's say. $749, you're going to get some people to pay that. And once those people have paid for it, then you lower the price and get the rest of the suckers.
So this new plug that they put in there, I know you want to get to the super chat, and I want to talk about that too. But what's the deal with this new like universal plug they're putting in there? They're really hammering home that international release piece by doing these.
Oh yeah, the plug for stuff. Yeah, the 12-volt plug, and they actually give you adapters. Since this was an international release, it probably makes the most sense to have done it that way. But I was surprised when I saw it. But yeah, all their newer things use that. So it kind of sucks for your surge protector though.
Yeah.
I got a couple quick observations. Number one, I noticed that whenever B assembles an Arcade1Up, he always ends up with more extra parts than the rest of us. Am I the only one thinking
wrong,
like
man. You're not wrong?
He's got a few more extra screws and dowels that we all.
I have great finger control, Matt. By the way.
Yeah. And second thing, my wife is messaging me. I got to go watch the Ahsoka show with her, so I got to take off. But thanks for having me on.
Before you jump.
Did you see? No, that's not for me. That was for Justin.
That's not for you. Oh wait, this one's for you.
Can we? Can we start a pin mod channel? P-dubs. At least you didn't buy a JP30. Yeah, I'm not going to spend 15 grand on a pinball machine. Are you nuts?
$12.99. It's a deal.
So I got a funny comment for you. Someone responded to my video the other day, and they were like, "Rough week for me financially. I just pre-ordered that Frenzy, what is it, New Wave Toys Replicade, and I bought a Jurassic Park 30th anniversary edition." I was like, "Why start with the $159 purchase and not the $13,000?"
That's right.
I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great night.
All right,
See you, buddy.
Have a good one. All right, I think this is where I'm going to show off the intro screen. So let's actually turn this on and make this regular so you guys can see the new splash screen. So we just did about a quick 1.5 zoom fast playback.
Wait. Yeah. Before you do that, does everyone want to see the splash screen? Who in the chat wants to see a splash screen? Press 1 if you want to see the splash screen, because I don't think you should show it, B. I don't think you should show. You should not show them the splash screen. That's too special. But I want to see some ones. If we're gonna see that splash screen, we got some ones. Okay, if you really want it, turn that one into a like right now. Hit that like button. We get that likes up a little bit more. We got 366 people in this chat. We get that like button a little bit higher. You know what the like button is for? It's just for B to feel good. That's all it is. There is no algorithm. It's a lie. It's just to feel good.
Pinball money, Justin.
It's just to feel good. So do me a favor. Hit that like button because B never asks for it. Think about it. B is so kind. Did you get paid to do any of this? No. And this cab, he's going to keep it? No. He's giving it to the community.
Not confirmed yet. Not confirmed.
Well, he's going to be in a commercial establishment for at least 2 months. And I was there. His wife is not allowing him to keep this machine. So one way or another, it's not saying there. So do him a favor. He loves this community. Give him a like. And I appreciate it. Now you can show.
Oh, thank you, Justin. You're
intro.
such a good hype man. I really appreciate you being here. It's really fun. Mike, you're okay too. All right, here we go.
Guys, hit the dislike button on B. He said some really negative things about you behind your back. Go ahead, hit that dislike button.
I always try. Okay, let's see how we can make this happen. And if it doesn't play that well, you can we can watch the other one. Let me make this louder.
It's loading.
I'll turn up the volume a little bit.
Fox is so excited.
Loading. Arcade1Up.
Give me something. Come on.
Oh, nice little marks.
Okay, I'll take it.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Arcade1Up 2023, Time Crisis, Point Blank, Steel Gunner 2. All right, here we got our games list here.
Beautiful.
How do we select? There's no like button.
Oh, that's a good point. The pedal, maybe?
All right. Oh, so I'm already calibrated here. So
Okay,
I'm
how
already
does the gun
using the
be? How does the gun feel? How does the calibration feel? What do you think?
I haven't calibrated anything, but it's already accurate of it kind of working, which is nice. That's one
It
of the
looks
things
pretty
you won't be able
snappy
to do.
compared to like T2.
Yeah, so I mean it's showing up really quickly. You click on this to
Oh, okay,
go
gotcha.
from game to game. You know what's stunning that I noticed immediately?
What's
This
that?
menu is the Marvel versus Capcom
Oh,
fighting big blue menu and not
Okay.
the T2 menu that we've seen. Like I can't
Right.
remember the stock Ridge Racer. Was the Ridge Racer this way too?
yes, the Ridge Racer was like this. Absolutely.
Like
You would-
this?
Yep.
When you move the wheel from game to game that way? Okay. So I guess like for this system, it's running the same hardware as that, so that makes sense that it would be the Ridge Racer.
It makes
It's not
sense.
like
the same
T2 setup.
emulation, right?
Yeah, the T2 game setup was different. So in the
And can you
option,
confirm the games list? It is. What's the games list?
the games list.
Yeah,
it's
just
the
to
back button.
confirm.
Okay, so yeah, Time Crisis, Steel Gunner 2, and Point Blank. So they kind of put Point Blank at the end there. So
There you
there's
go.
4 games. Yep. And so for Time Crisis, the options you see are network settings, menu effects, menu background, check for update, gun calibration, and back to menu. So let's just take a look at the gun calibration real quick, just so I
Good
can see
idea.
it.
Check it
Kind
out.
of see
This is a
Figuring
little
out
weird, isn't it, Justin? It's like we're on an episode of Mystery Science Theater
trigger,
3000.
center, and button together
Right.
for 3 seconds until the cursor moves to the center. Carefully line up and shoot the cursor to calibrate. So I hold the button and trigger at the same time. 1,
Gotcha.
2, 3. All right, and now it's center. All right, carefully line up and then shoot the cursor to calibrate. And shoot. All right, there it is. Okay.
Wow.
It wasn't that far off before, but like, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, just and I'm looking at it through a camera, but it looks like it's tracking a little bit steadier than T2.
You think so?
I mean, just like I said, there's a couple layers between me and you, but it looks like it's a little more steady.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I would say I'm gonna
It
turn
is.
on and maybe what I'll do is I'll flip it around so you guys can compare.
I used to cry when I logged into my T2 machine and it was like, you're not connected to the Wi-Fi. Please enter your Wi-Fi password. And I'm like,
If I move
oh, you
quickly-
son of a bitch.
if I move quickly from left to right, the cursor's dragging behind how fast my gun is moving. I don't know if you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So if maybe I can do it from this angle here and switch it around. So let's switch cameras real fast. All right. So from here, this is my line of sight, right? It's line of sight. And so
Gotcha.
as I'm moving, can you see how the cursor's dragging a
A
little bit?
little bit,
behind?
yeah. Let me do a test on my T2 while you're doing yours.
Hey,
and I'll-
B, so when you do this type of test on like
So that,
Okay.
that
higher end hardware, does it do the same thing?
in my opinion, that feels a little bit off.
B?
Yeah, so I didn't want the echo to show off. So, okay, so let me explain a little bit about what's happening here on the drag, because this is actually one of the feedbacks that I gave to Arcade1Up when I got this early on to ask if this was an issue. So I did get confirmation a little bit about this on the technical side, and we didn't get to talk about it on the stream, Michael. It was one of the things we were thinking about talking about. But the cursor drag that I showcase here is actually due on purpose in the menu to be able to slow down the cursor so that people can type their email by, on a keyboard and like press their, whatever at gmail.com. And so that way it's not as jittery moving around. It's a smoothing effect that was purposely added to the menu. So The problem is on this calibration screen or anywhere else, it doesn't mention that. So from a user standpoint, end user standpoint, without that knowledge that this was on purpose, there was smoothing and it doesn't impact the gameplay, then that was a miss that I was like, maybe this can be added on a future iteration. So I'm hoping before final release, they will add text into this calibration screen that actually mentions the drag isn't there. Because if I do the mouse drag on my PC, you won't see that, and the mouse is much more accurate even on the cursor on the screen. So I wanted to bring that up, if that makes sense.
Is there any way to prove what you're saying is true?
I did see an email that had information about it. So
No, I just meant like none of the games have a cursor, right? So you can't really.
So actually, Steel Gunner 1 and 2 are rail shooter games like T2, so they have cursors.
Okay.
But I'm saying, but even those 2 games, I still think there's drag on those games. In fact, every T2 review I've ever seen or heard about, nobody complained about the drag, but it's there. I played my T2 recently, and the same cursor drag is there on the T2 cabinet. You just don't notice it because there's a cursor on the screen, so you're just adjusting it and moving it around. It's not as like, you don't need to be like snap here, shoot the next thing over there, shoot over there. For Time Crisis and Point Blank, you need to have that speed and accuracy. For any of those rail shooter games, dragging your gun across the screen is what you naturally do, so you don't notice it as much. But it's absolutely there on T2. I think it's the same as Steel Gunner, just nobody complained about it. So I don't know if that's something they can fix, but it is an issue that I saw.
I wonder if, like, how would that affect the gameplay? Like, is the gameplay require that level of precision?
It doesn't impact it, I believe, for Time Crisis and Point Blank. So what I've been assured is that it's accurate send in. So from point to point without the cursor on the screen, it'll shoot very quickly and very accurately. It is just happens when there's a cursor on the screen for the menu selection screen, the calibration screen, and the Steel Gunner games. You will see a little bit of drag across for those games. But for other things, when it's just point and shoot to the next target, TC and Point Blank, you won't see an issue there.
Yeah, for me, I would wonder if it would be really hard to tell. Like, Point Blank, some levels are kind of hard.
Yeah. You need to shoot an apple off the top of somebody's head in one shot.
And you have 3 seconds.
Yeah, 3 seconds in one shot. So you need to be dead accurate, absolutely. And you need to be fast, too. You need to shoot 9 targets in a row very succinctly. And so for that game, I've tested accuracy, and I'll have some gameplay showing up. I'm pretty decent shot in Point Blank, so I can get pretty close to it using accuracy on this, so not a problem. But it's deceiving on the calibration menu. It looks like it's just drag. So I'm like, oh, if it's dragging here, it's going to drag in the game. But after I heard confirmation, that's not the case. So
yeah, I think it's
more upfront about that.
Thinking about it, I think it's only a problem if you're like, let's say you play it and you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah,
like it's not possible to shoot this in Point Blank. You got to hit 3 targets within 3 seconds. It's got to be bam, 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 and the drag won't let me. If the drag won't let you, then that's a problem. But if it's like, no, you can do it. Like boom, 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 you got it. So as long as it's not impossible to do it, it should be fine. If it's possible, then it's like maybe the game is like 1/10 slightly harder because your accuracy has to be like that much better.
Yeah, let's see what Fox is saying for his T2 if he notices the same thing.
Okay.
Is yours dragging too?
I feel like, well, the drag is, I think it's more pronounced with the T2.
You think so? There's more drag, but you can see it?
That's what it feels like, yeah.
You're also shoeless.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Nice. Okay. Woo. But yeah, so maybe the send-in technology implementation on the gun cabs aren't super great. I can't remember how great it was on T2 either. So we'll see.
Oh, look, that's back when Fox had that awful giant widescreen in his cruiser.
Let me get into a game and see how it works. So
There's a side button too.
yeah. Oh, he's doing a little test. Let's check out Foxy finishing up his test for T2 and seeing if there's drag on his cursor on the screen. So I mean, we're just kind of confirming, some of the. Oh, what is that?
What was that?
Oh, is that lit up? Are your guns lit up? Oh, they are.
Oh, wow.
Fancy. Yeah.
Check out the channel for a complete tutorial.
Yeah, check out. Subscribe to the channel for an LED mod tutorial. I like that.
Okay, so I don't
So-
know. It feels.
Go faster. Move it from side to side faster.
Now go up and down.
It's pretty accurate, or is it dragging?
The drag is there. I think it's the drag is more. The drag is a little more pronounced when you're in the menu mode.
Okay.
When you're in the menu, it's a little bit more pronounced than when in gameplay. Gameplay is a little more accurate. I think it's probably reflective of what you see, I think.
All right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to play a little bit of the Time Crisis game. Let me get the pedal.
Here we go. Okay, and now you have to tell us about the emulation B. We have to know.
All right, can you help grab the pedal?
I love how that Fox is just so excited. He's like, come on, I want to know about the emulation, please.
Yeah, all right.
It's a little pedal.
All right, let's test it out. Let's turn on the volume. Let's test the speakers really fast.
Okay.
So that gets loud, B, doesn't it?
Not bad sound. Not bad. Okay. All right. All right. Pair 1, start game. Gun trigger to shoot. Grab my little pedal. It says version 1.1. Got my sending border.
Here we go.
A kidnapping. It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Sersia. Get into the castle and rescue Rachel.
Rescue Rachel.
Insert 1 coin. Story ranking game. All right. 1. Story game. That menu's the same. That's good.
This nation will soon be mine. The taste of revenge is sweet.
The lip syncs off.
I will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
We've been invaded. What? Never mind. My men will gun him down. There! Shoot him!
Here we go. Area 1.
Time Crisis. Here we go.
I don't know, man. It looks pretty good. How's that foot pedal feel?
It looks pretty snappy, B.
Action!
What do you think, Fox? Do you like it? He doesn't even respond.
What a jerk. Yeah, I gotta say, this does look really good.
All right, turning down my volume. Yeah, Fox is just drinking, enjoying. So I am doing some gameplay to test it out. The pedal does feel good. I mean, I can pull there's a lot of length on the cord, so you can get pretty far back on it too. And then I like how you can tuck it in and hide it. Like afterwards, it actually recesses into the cabinet, so it doesn't have to be sticking out the whole time.
Man, I wish I had that with Ridge Racer.
Yeah, right. It'd be nice if you can fold that up. But the gameplay on Time Crisis, I thought was really good. And you know, your fingers do get tired after a while pressing it for that long. That's kind of like my only feedback. I was getting tired immediately. Like, oh, I feel like I could get carpal tunnel from this. It's a nice feature, but again, it's probably going to be something that people are going to have to experience to kind of get what I'm talking about. I'll try to explain it as much as I can, but it's really hard, like for that spring loaded. You just can't. You have to try to be able to test it out, which is why this would be a great try before you buy cabinet. And I don't know if they're ever going to have more demo units out in the wild, wherever the retailers are at. But, you know, it's one that I would highly, if you can, try to get your hands on one, test it. But I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Are you just going to sit here and pretend there isn't a Nebraska Furniture Mart?
Yeah, absolutely. Nebraska Furniture Mart or wherever you can. But when I first saw the video of hey, there's Recoil, I was like, sweet, they got Recoil working on it. It's sliding top. And then I felt it and I was like, oh, this isn't what I expected. That's because I have the real one that uses a real solenoid, so it's a different feel for it. So this is just gameplay videos. I have a couple super chats I wanted to get to really quickly. Kelso's Arcade saying, remember AZ Peeps, A1Up doesn't charge tax or shipping for Desert Dweller, so $6.99 means that's what we pay.
There you go.
If you can get it at $6.99, because it's $7.49 for any retailers right now. So thanks, Kessel's Arcade. Appreciate that. And big $10 super chat from Jeff Walsh. Thanks. Says, sorry, B, but not 80s music. Before my big Duran Duran concert next week, enjoy all of your concert content. It would have to be House of the Dead for a must buy for me. Thanks so much, Jeff. Appreciate that.
Am I the only one that notices that that Ms. Kongs R Us is changing shirts every 5 minutes?
Yeah, she's trying to. I love her. She just tries to be supportive.
Is this like the episode of One Up Weekly where the shirt changes means something?
I don't think
It
so.
might.
I think she was waiting to do like a reveal and remove it, but I don't think I let her get to that part. So sorry, but yeah, I think she was just trying to be like, hey, look at me, here I am, there it is. There it is. All right, a couple more quick chats. Rights Retrograde, thanks so much for the 279 Canadian super chat. Says, looks like it's a great machine. Wish it was 19 inches. I also agree. I think from a look standpoint, this is probably one of their best, if not best looking cabinets. From a physical standpoint, it's impressive. Just like when I saw Tron for the first time, I was like, wow, that's really tall and big. Something about having really tall machines definitely gives you that vibe of a real art machine, even though it's still 3/4. It's an impressive size. Even with the 17-inch monitor, that plus the guns popping, I think this is somebody casual could walk up to in your game room and kind of pick up and enjoy. I think people that have played real Namco light gun games will, I think, be disappointed in the guns. That'll be one of my feedback reviews. But we'll see. We'll see if it can be modded. We'll see if it can be modded.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there anything on the bezel?
No, it's all black.
So it means you could upgrade to a 19-inch pretty easily because all you need is a black bezel?
Yes.
Like, it's not like you're losing anything in the bezel.
No, you're not losing any of the art or anything like that.
Maybe that's true. Maybe I will look into that and see
Yeah.
if the 1917 S monitors can.
You should measure that and send it to Tulsa.
And then have them do like the monitor upgrade. So yeah, maybe that could be done. If we can use the thing with the mod, right? I wouldn't recommend using a geek worm to HDMI out to one of those things, but if we can find a panel that fits, you would have to like do a lot of custom modding to it to make it work though. So we'll see if it can output from a 17-inch. As long as the aspect ratio is the same, does a resolution matter? Like
Michael B knows all about it.
Yeah, you're a modding channel now, right, Mike?
I messed up my golden tee. I'm not a modding god.
Okay, talk to Fox.
Overstated my powers.
So you get a Dell 2007 and you tear it completely apart. You'll find on the inside it's LVDS. You connect the LVDS directly to the panel. And then you have to only worry about whether you need a power inverter or not, because there's two types of power to power the panel. And if you get lucky, it's the exact same as the Arcade1Up. Use that wire. If not, you buy this $5 part on Amazon that transfers it to the other one, and you're good to go.
That's if it's a 19-inch to 19-inch swap, though. I don't think anybody's done a 17-inch to 19-inch LCD mod, like using the stock stuff.
It should just be the same, shouldn't it?
The same.
Maybe. Let's test it. We'll test it out once I get it back, and I'll be breaking it up and doing some modding. So it might be a donor cab to let people know.
Yeah, look, the real smile bits right here. He did it.
Yeah.
He says the resolution difference, 1280 to 960, 19 inches or 1280 by 1024, going to cut off at least the last 64 lines. So you have to cover that much up as well.
Just make sure it's a 4x3.
Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you. We're getting really aspect ratio-y. Let's take a shot because Justin started talking about it. That's good stuff. But yeah, I was just showcasing some of the differences between my Time Crisis Namco guns that I have on my point blank cabinets versus this. I think this is pretty much the end of the video. I'll probably be doing a lot more other content. I mean, we finished the build. 19K Fox had a lot of good thoughts on here, but go to his channel so you can get all his thoughts on that as well. And we can kind of wrap it up for tonight on this particular stream for the building and the unboxing. Justin, I know you saw the first half of it, and then you didn't get to see this because you were stuck at an airport.
You know what sucked is I didn't even fly. Do you know? It's like I didn't even make it home that night.
Correct.
I had to stay in Denver, so like if I could go back, I just would have stayed with you another night.
You could have. You could have been here for the rest of this, and it would have been fun. But I mean,
what is going on in Denver? Why are all you guys going to Denver all the time? Fox is in Denver. You were in Denver. Is this some kind of secret society based around Denver?
There's a lot of arcades in Denver.
Yeah, that's there's a one-up place in Denver too.
There's
actually,
2 of them.
Yeah. Good stuff. People love that aspect talk ratio, Justin. All right, so final thoughts, Justin. I mean, you were there at the start of this, and now that you've seen some content off of this, like any initial thoughts from this before you kind of give your own thoughts on your major show?
Yeah.
Sunday?
I'll let everyone know my thoughts. The thought is I will attest, I will affirm that the foot pedal, I did touch it, I did feel it. And it's some type of metal-ish aluminum. It's a little thin. It It's not like, oh my gosh, it's super thin. It's like if you feel it, it's like, okay, it's not like the thickest piece of metal, but I think it's good. I think they did a big improvement on it. It feels strong when I put my bare feet on it, because I'm not allowed to wear shoes in B's house. Also, I'm not allowed to wear shoes in my house, so I'm not sure why it's so special when I go to yours. Anyway, it must be the Asian thing.
Did you have to take your socks off too?
No, I could leave the socks on. That's the thing. It's like my wife has the same rules, except for B like really enforces them. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have carpet upstairs, you know, so you got to take your shoes off.
it's
when
so
you're on
weird. I
carpet.
go there and he's like, "You have to take your shoes off." I'm like, "You mean like every house in America?" It's like, "You have to take your shoes off." I'm like, "Do you think I don't take my shoes off when I get home?
Sorry.
Do you think I'm a bum or something?"
Well, you made it to my staircase and didn't take off your shoes yet.
I
so,
did
you know.
not. I walked inside from your garage and was standing on the
first thing I
first
said.
tile.
That's the
And
first
everyone
thing
was
I
like,
said.
"Take off your shoes, you white man that doesn't understand Asian culture." I'm
You
like,
gotta-
I
you
was
gotta respect
about
the shoes.
to.
I have an aloha sign that says, "Please remove the shoes, but no leave a better ones." You know, so it's standard.
It's normal. It's like not a okay. Anyway, I stomped on it and it felt good. I held the gun and I triggered it, and I
Yeah.
also B has $300. You have to make sure you mention that. You're like, I spent $300 on these genuine ones. I'm disappointed in Arcade1Up's $5 version.
Yeah.
Oh, my $700 guns, you mean?
I'm sorry, $700.
Yeah, let's call a spade here. This is
Right.
a recreation, right? This is not, well, man, you know, people are upset about the $750 price point. Your guns cost $50 less.
Right. So the guns are a great improvement. I think it's a great compromise. I don't imagine Arcade1Up putting a solenoid inside their gun. Two of them. Well, maybe at $750 they should. I don't know.
What was in T2?
It wasn't a real solenoid like in pinball where it fires back. It was almost like a plastic part that was spinning, almost like your bicycle wheel with a little card into it. It was like, you know, spinning on a spoke and going.
Well, what if
I
someone
mean-
opened it up and they realized it was like a Nolan Ryan rookie card?
Right? Like, oh man, Frank Thomas would have made it hit much harder than a Nolan Ryan card.
Yeah, so I look
yeah.
forward to you cracking it open. I bet here's what I'm hoping for, B. First of all, for 99% of you, this gun's going to be amazing if you want to buy it. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You probably won't do anything with it. And if you never touch one of B's $700 guns, or you don't go back and forth between your arcade and home, you'll probably never notice the difference. But if you do, I'm hoping that B is all like, look, you put 7 quarters in the base, and it's like, that only cost you a few dollars, and it's increased the weight. But even that, I'm worried. I'm wondering, because, like, they're kind of light, and I don't really like holding my arm up forever when something's heavy, you know? So,
Well, you've also got to keep in mind, like when we were doing the stream, I was going to mention that to B, how heavy the guns are. These cabs aren't just for us, like 40-year-old dudes. Like, you know, they expect kids to play them and stuff too. So how heavy do you want the guns? Like, if it's a challenge for Justin to keep his arm up like that, how's your kids going to do?
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear a glove, and the weight is in the glove. And so when I want the heavy weight, I put the glove on, and then now it's like a heavy gun, but it's just in the glove.
Yeah, I think if there's any place to put the weight, it could just be in the stock portion
Yeah.
right here, just to kind of make it feel a little bit heftier. And then that way, but I mean, there is a button here where you are really holding it with 2 hands to be able to use that second button for grenades and other guns. So that helps with holding it if it's weighted. But yeah, from a light standpoint, like my other guns are hefty, so I do have to hold them with 2 guns after a while. The other thing that, like, obviously when you hold it down and you press it once and you're holding the gun down for steel gunner, there is no continuous fire solenoid, so that is a missing component. Like T2, when you're holding down the gun, you hear the rat tat 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 tat. So it's a little quiet playing steel gunner without that. My hope is that I did test the T2 guns with those games and it works, but the solenoid doesn't fire. So I'm like, oh, what if there could be something in the future where they could enable that would give more people value for having the T2 guns playing it with this for those 2 games. I think that would be a fantastic way to do it. I did want to mention one other thing, and maybe I'll save it for my review, but for those that are still watching, people are asking, like, why are there 2 guns and only 1 pedal? And I don't think like people kind of were wondering about, this is Time Crisis 1, which is a 1-player game. Time Crisis 2, which everybody's asking about, is a different system. It's System 23 emulation, which is a different kind of emulator process that wouldn't have worked with this current chipset and emulation per Namco. So people are like, oh, they should do the link up thing like they did with Fast and Furious. That would have been a great idea implementation wise. But I can tell you, even from a PC emulation standpoint, they just got Time Crisis 2 working with MAME like this year, like recently. So it's been really tough to get those 2 games working, or Time Crisis 2 working. Most people in the light gun community play the PS2 version of that game split screen. There's no way you're playing a split screen on 17 inches. And then also it's not arcade accurate playing it that way. So will we see a Time Crisis 2 with this? I don't think so. Not with this cabinet, at least. But I wanted to just mention that because people are asking, like, why doesn't this have Time Crisis 2? Why are there 2 guns? That's just part of it. All right. Any other burning questions you guys have before we close out? Questions in the chat?
What's for breakfast?
I don't know, but I need to get some rest because I've been driving since very, very early this morning. It was fun to do this with you guys. Thanks for coming on and watching this review. I'll be having some more content later on. Mike, did you have any other final thoughts?
No, this has been a great day. It's fun. Got to jump on the stream, do that stuff. Good first experience doing stuff with Arcade1Up, and very happy for you, man. Congratulations on the review cab. I think you're going to do a great job with it. I mean, you filmed like 17 hours of footage that we went through tonight, and your review's coming up. Plus, I'm looking forward to see how people take to this when you bring it out to Smog City, Smog
City. Yeah, so it's
Smog City.
Saturday, I'll do a live stream from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific. So folks join in. I'm hoping to get some more clarification if this could be something that Arcade1Up officially supports more. So as soon as I get more details, I will share it. And in the meantime, I do have some upcoming things happening. Tomorrow, I plan to post 20 minutes of unedited gameplay so people can see all the games and test emulation. So that way it's nothing but just pure gameplay, no commentary. You guys can take that for what it is. On Thursday, I'll do another stream where I kind of dive deep into the mechanical parts and open it up so we can dive into that content. I'm hoping by Friday, I'll have my formal review out. So people that want to watch the short, 10 to 15 minutes review of it will be my plan. And then Saturday will be the community stream. So every single day this week, there'll be Time Crisis content on this channel. And I think sometime Thursday or Friday, I will share all the pictures and B-roll video that I make of this cabinet with any other content creator that wants it. And Mike, maybe you could talk about that because you and I talked about wanting the press kit and other stuff from Arcade1Up be openly shared with anybody that wants it. You and I had to kind of be quiet because of the embargo, but I don't see any reason why more content creators can make better content using the official stuff. Do you want to talk about that plans and kind of what talks we had?
Yeah, so this is something we're pitching right now, is the idea that right now Arcade1Up, if you're a content creator, like basically in order to get stuff, you got to go to their site and then try to take it off, try to cut it up, paste it. We don't have access to logos. Like when they come up with a new brand like the Pro Series or even the Deluxe, I mean, like there's just no access to these logos. Like you have to cut it out of videos. Justin, for God's sakes, when the Arcade1Up Legacy came out, you paused a video and then cropped it for me so I could use that logo. So the concept behind it is we're hoping that Arcade1Up, instead of sending out just information to random people from time to time, they really open it up, and it's open for all content creators, that when something goes live, everybody gets kind of notified the same time. Maybe we get like a one pager and then all the appropriate assets to go with it. So just everybody has access to these pictures, these files, all the right information, and there's just a bunch of better content going out for everybody. Everybody has the same opportunity. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And then Paul will stop scooping us on Reddit, right? Anyway, I'm really excited about it. The most exciting thing for me today, because I didn't know the secret, who replaced Travis? It's Michael B. I had no clue. I knew it wasn't me.
Yeah, we didn't tell anybody. We didn't even tell our friends. Some of our friends were like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be a jerk. I know it. And I was right. I was
right.
so right.
It was me.
Yeah, super excited. I have a question.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw it out there. and I'm going to ask the audience if you don't mind. What would be better? What would be better? Would it be better for B to make one video that has the gameplay of all 4 games, but there's chapters, or 4 separate videos? I don't know the answer. What do you think, B? Like,
for ease of sake, I'm just gonna do one video with 4
one
chapters.
video, 4 chapters.
Yeah, I don't think people want to click on multiple videos of certain things. I think it'll be 20. I think I timed it, and it's almost like 30 minutes. I think some gameplay, I did the full stage of Steel Gunner and Steel Gunner 2, and then played through a full thing of Point Blank. Somebody was asking for Point Blank gameplay. Definitely wait for tomorrow. I'll have it edited by tonight and released probably early tomorrow morning. That way you guys can see some unedited gameplay.
But what would someone need to do to not miss that?
Oh,
is there a button they could press?
Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for all that YouTube jazz. That
YouTube jazz.
YouTube jazz. I used the line from Mike B. All that YouTube jazz.
I know you're trying to exit, but I do want to answer GG really quickly. So my iArcade Gold is down in my basement right now, either awaiting one of 2 things: someone to buy it, or for Mystery Encoder to come out with a chip that works to mod it. We'll see what happens first.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts before we end tonight's stream? Thank you all so much for joining in. Mike, final word. How are you feeling today? Give me one word.
I'm feeling good.
Good. Justin,
Good.
what's your one word?
Metal. Because the foot pedals, metal.
Metal to the metal. I like that. My one word is absolutely. It's finally here. I get to talk about it in the public community. I can't wait to throw more F-bombs for certain things I don't like and things that I do like. It's been fun to finally share this with the community, and I hope that people can get a sense that that's really why I did this in the first place. And these guys can attest. I struggled a little for a while to even if I should take it and do a review copy, because I didn't want the stigma of having a review copy. But I think I found a way for me to feel good about having it. So this is my justification for taking it, Mike. So suck it if you don't like what I'm doing.
Yeah, I remember he was like, I don't want to do it, but I love the community so much. I love every single individual, whether it's Jason or Paul or Thor, or Novasonic 23, the Real Smile Bit, and all the other 250 some people that I love them so much that I'm going to deliver the Time Crisis in the best way possible I know how. And today, you did it, B. You did it.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. I'm hitting the button. Good night, everybody.